Hello everyone, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and these are of course your weekly horoscope tarot card readings, and they are from the 27th of January until the 2nd of February. So it's from the 27th of January until the 2nd of February, and of course I'm going to start with a gorgeous Aries. My beautiful Aries, this week it's all going to be about your own spiritual awakening. This is a very important stage you're about to enter, because at the same time it's going to rejuvenate you when it comes to your own healing, when it comes to your own energy, but also very important to say that this particular awakening have got a lot to do specifically with your fears, with the negativities, with things that were worrying you a lot about your future, the things that were worrying you about your present moment, and the things that you were unsatisfied with when it comes to your direction, when it comes to your life, when it comes to things that didn't perhaps unfold as quick as you wanted, and then they just kind of created a certain confusion. Let me tell you something, it's very important because it's to do with the time that you were worrying. This is about your own personal awakening, spiritual awakening indeed. And the bottom line is that it's actual, if I can say, you're going on the next stage, and it's about the realization that it's not as negative, it's not as bad, and it is a beautiful and rather gorgeous and radiant light at the end of the tunnel, which is at the same time going to reveal itself. I'm talking about the return of the optimism, I'm talking about the energy, and I'm talking about the positivity that is stemming out of the negative situation. And it's going to be like on your mind the thoughts, oh thank God, the worst is over, the worst is over, the worst is over. So it's a lot to do with the complex situation that was bothering you, that was like kind of preventing you to move on in many different ways, by keeping you kind of attached to your old selves, by keeping you attached to the certain restrictions that have long gone. Now this is an important stage of unfoldment, because you are reaching a rather significant stage when it comes to your own spiritual journey. And this is why I'm saying that this is all about the certain potential, that it's at the same time going to be a very important part of you, of your way of thinking, of your kind of optimism and things like that. And most certainly it is a very important person. It's going to become the part of the scenario as well. Very important person who is going to cross your path this week. It's going to play an important role with you recognizing something about yourself, confirming certain things to yourself when it comes to the actual accomplishment. But it's important to say that this person is also going to play an important role when it comes to actually inspiring you. You're also reaching you're also reaching an important moment when it comes to the actual patience. You have been waiting for this moment, because by the end of this week you are going to be that much closer, one step closer, way more closer than what you would have hoped for in originally, which is actually really good. So you're going to find yourself on an advanced stage. It's to do with your patience, and this is going to be really nice turnaround you're going to have. And it's going to come through the certain news that you are going to hear. It's automatically going to make you feel really optimistic, but on another hand it is going to start the certain learning process, which is going to require from you to focus on a certain reflection. So therefore you will want to take something further, but most certainly this is going to be an important moment of unfoldment. And also when it comes to the certain when it comes to the certain investment, that's the word I'm looking for. When it comes to the certain investment, there is some kind of investment going to take place as well at around the end of the week. So therefore, balance is going to be just perfect if you want to start new things, if you want to try new things, if you want to buy something significant, if you want to start something significant for any type of negotiations. This is going to be quite great week, because the certain negotiation is going to take place place, and most certainly it's going to be rather successful. It's a very, very good moment in time indeed, you know, but it's also like an important person in your life. It's also going to reveal something to you. So an important person in your life is going to reveal something to you, and that in itself, it's also going to help you with a certain grounding, you know, certain realization, you know, confirmation, you know, but most certainly it's going to kind of like bring you whole new strength, and it's going to confirm the certain direction, certain unfoldment, and it's about to bring a whole new perspective. Very, very good indeed. On another hand, you know, there is a very brilliant and rather fantastic moment of success that you're also going to have. You are reaching an important stage when it comes to your security. You are reaching an important stage here when it comes to your own personal power, when it comes to your personal achievement, and it's a lot to do with material attainment, because it is going to come with a rather nice flippy floppy moment, and rather nice flippy floppy moment when the situation is rather vibrant, like how it's going to be in your case, my gorgeous Aries. This is going to be quite good, because the bottom line is it's going to take you, it's going to bring you on a rather advanced level, and this is so good, and that in itself is just immediately going to be very good when it comes to your health. Okay, so those of you with the long ailments, you could see like a rather nice improvement here indeed, because it's to do with the good health. But the bottom line is it's about your victory, victory, victory. My gorgeous Aries, this is the week of the actual victory, and the fact that we are entering from one week to another week, this is going to be even more perfect, because it's just going to purify this situation so much more, and you are entering a moment, the time that is going to be very vibrant when it comes to an ancient healing wisdom. Just mark my words, it's going to be rather magical moment in time indeed. Yeah, and also what else I was going to say, it is just about a victory, 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 and the difficulty, you know, that was affecting your stability over the last 10 months. It's also going to be sorted. Beautiful conclusion that you are going to have, and also an important starting point. An important starting point, my gorgeous Aries, you don't even need to do anything physically. You don't, it is all about your mind. It is all about your direction. It is all about your manifestation, my gorgeous Aries, because this is going to be quite strong and rather important moment in time here. Very vibrant. You're going to start an important stage of an unfoldment. As I said, you don't need to do it physically or anything like that, but it's all what you decide here, my gorgeous witnesses. All what you decide here. You're going to make an important decision, an important option. It's going to take place here, and that is just going to have a really important outcome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in October 2020. October 2020, it's going to be very important when it comes to this particular stage. I will say this again, like I always say, I'm not saying that you have to wait until October, of course. I'm just saying that this option, this idea, this beginning, this unfoldment, this realization is actually going to take place like full on in October 2020, and it's going to be very important stage in your life, which is later on going to become the beautiful door and the beautiful pathway in a completely new completely different dimension. Very, very good, my gorgeous Aries, indeed. When it comes to your health, this is absolutely ridiculously important that you drink as much water as you can, because you're gonna end up with the relevant a toxins in your system, which is going to affect you, and it's going to affect your liver, and it's going to affect your kidneys, and even your digestion is going to be sensitive. Nothing unusual, nothing crazy, nothing weird, nothing bizarre. The answer to this is just make sure that you are drinking as much water as you can. Okay, make sure that you're also taking maybe blueberries, goji berries, raspberries, as many berries as you can. Like if you can make your own smoothie in the morning, and this is going to be quite good when it comes to your own kidney and liver. This is all very important, and it's all connected, and it's all kind of going to be affected. So basically, if you make your own blueberries, goji berries, as many berries as you can, but at least if you can have 2 different types of berries, this is wonderful. It's full of beautiful necessary vitamins, which is on another hand going to work like quite a nice filter for your kidneys and liver. Also, a nice dose of B vitamins as well. If you can get a natural B vitamins, this is going to help you with a little bit of stress that you are going to go through, but at the same time it's going to be good for your digestion as well. Okay, and vitamin D, it's also going to be quite important to take care for your bones, because they're going to be quite sensitive. And if you can go outside and provide yourself with the sunshine, then that's great. But if you can't, then I just suggest you to get like a natural vitamin D without any horrible ingredients, which I always recommend. Or you can simply get food, which is going to be quite rich and quite nice in vitamin D, of course. Okay. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, I just need you to check with your doctor, because only your doctor can actually tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. I have no idea what accent was this meant to be. You see, it is the pleasure. It's about finding out the pleasure again. It's about being happy. It's about living this life. It's about starting over. It's about feeling yourself again. It's about feeling your life again. It's about having that breath of an absolutely wonderful air coming back into your life, and it's just inspiring in so many different ways. This is going to be a very good week for you, my gorgeous Aries, indeed. On another hand, what else I was going to say, for those of you that are actually in relationship, ooh la la, something rather vavavoomish is going to happen. Something rather vavavoomish is actually going to take place. Very important stage for those of you in relationship, because it's going to mark the beginning of a very special stage where you are both going to feel very close, much closer, and you're both going to be enjoying yourself quite a lot. I'm not saying that you haven't been enjoying yourself, okay? But it is just so important that, there are going to be lots of like a rejuvenating, loving and romantic energy that is actually going to take place. But at the same time, you're going to make an important decision. Very important decision. Both of you are going to benefit from this quite a lot. Okay? For those of you that are single and ready to mingy, my gorgeous Aries, this is going to be a powerful week when it comes to the actual relationships, like a social relationships, because I know you're going to benefit from quite a few people that are going to come across your path this week. You see, very important. But it's just like basically this week you're going to realize and you're going to learn that in order to let someone to come into your life, you're going to need to kind of work on a structure a little bit. You're going to need to work on the things what you do on daily basis, and most certainly the structure is going to be needed, but it's also going to be obvious when it comes to you kind of bringing the right person into your life, inviting the right person in your life. There are certain necessary changes that you're going to need to make. You will have to kind of make, and this is going to be obvious to you throughout this week, because the certain changes are going to be directly responsible for the person who is going to enter your life. But it's going to come from some kind of structure, from some kind of changes, from some kind of new options that are actually going to take place and become rather attractive new stage in your life. Okay. Now, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Taurinus. My beautiful Taurinus, it is just like a moment in time that you will have at the beginning. You're going to reach an important stage of your personal security, but in particular, it's going to come through the certain news that you are going to hear. The actual news that you are going to hear, it's going to come to you, it's going to travel to you, towards you, through someone very, very special, through somebody who you really think of very highly, as somebody very important in your life, an important figure who inspires you normally, but this is going to create a really significant, enormous time of a very significant and powerful inspiration that is going to immediately boost your radiance, it's going to immediately rejuvenate you, immediately immediately it's going to bring a brand new promise, but it's all about this actual vibrant energy that it's at the same time going to bring you an amazing inspiration. That inspiration that you will have is directly going to be connected to the actual potential, and potential is just going to be so good for you because you will know that this is the way towards a certain luxury and culmination and a very beautiful and peaceful and harmonious stage and period in your life, because it's also an annoying problem and issue that was connected to the actual time that started a few years ago. The certain problems kind of attached themselves to you, to your situation, to your spiritual journey, and that kind of stayed attached up until now, up in this particular week. This particular week is going to come with a sacred promise because it's an unfoldment of a very long stage. It's coming to an end. I said unfoldment of a very long stage is to do with the problem. When something arose a few years ago, my gorgeous Taurinis, and you were affected by it emotionally, you perhaps lost someone, or it's just like to do with like a loss, but it was very difficult. It was very negative, very difficult, and it affected your life literally forever. It's a lot to do with your destiny, fortune, and fate, but at the same time, it's to do with the situation that kind of surprised you, that arose in your life, okay? But it surprised you at the same time, but it's just required your immediate response, which also, on another hand, required some kind of input from you at the same time. These type of situations change us forever. These type of situations are very karmic and very strong and very powerful, and after this happens we are never the same. So this always leaves like a long trail, like a long path of things that we need to work on, and we need to work on until we kind of like learn through our own lessons that we are having at the same time. No matter how hard it is, no matter how difficult it is, there are always lessons at the same time that the universe is providing us in order to get a response from us, so to help us to kind of find our path towards the right direction through our own illumination. We can only reach this through our own understanding of our own spirits or of our own spiritual journey. It's beautiful, and it's a very important moment in time because you are going to come out on top. You are going to be a winner, because now the tables are gonna turn over, my gorgeous Taurinis, and this is going to be a moment that is gonna change everything. Again, we are entering from one month to another. This month is very relevant to you and to your situation when it comes to the actual February as well. So we are that much closer to number 2. Number 2 in numerology, you Taurinis are going to really beautifully benefit from, because it's relevant to your own rebirth of your own power, promise, creativity, which is just at the same time going to help you to reach that much further for the things that you couldn't have reached before, let alone see them, let alone notice them. This is all about the return of optimism. You see, it's beautiful, and that's why I'm saying this is a very deep issue. It is a very complex issue that the Taurinis, my beautiful babies, you are going to benefit from this. This is going to give it a certain energy boost, okay? And this energy boost is what I'm talking about. This is going to boost your confidence, and that in itself is just going to help you to see things crystal clear. An abandonment of the situation is going to take place. This abandonment means everything, because at the same time this means that you spiritually grow. Spiritually you are growing. This is your spiritual growth, but it's at the same time the very important time of your own transformation, you know. And just few months ago you will be very indecisive about this particular area, about this particular stage. So now that indecisive situation, it's going to make an important decision, and this is just going to boost your path, boost your spirituality, boost your power. It is going to boost your energy, and it's gonna like basically give you an idea, an option at the same time. It's going to become very attractive, that you will want to learn, you will want to do, you will want to become a part of. This doesn't have to be huge, it doesn't have to be massive. But when you go through the week, my gorgeous Taurinis, just make sure that you are seeing, that you are getting all the little signs and all the little messages that you are going to have, especially when it comes to like a learning process. Listen, it's all about penetrating within your own energy, within your own energy field, within your own karma, you know, within your own spiritual journey. And to penetrate through your own spirituality, it's basically just to make sure that you are as open-minded as you can, you're as adventurous as you can, you do as much as you can. And also, like for example, when it comes to this learning process, it is all about like a little tiny learning process which just takes you like, oh my lord, like to the end of the world at the same time, without you realizing, because subconsciously you're just going to be drawn towards the certain visions, you know, that is going to boost your passion there where it wasn't in such a long time. But at the same time, it's going to come in many hidden elements, so you are going to find yourself like being attached and being drawn to certain things that you're not normally drawn. But for example, if you see the candle and you just suddenly think like, oh, I wonder how did they do this candle, how did they make this candle? Don't stop there, my gorgeous Taurinis. There is always a hidden message, hidden realization, hidden learning process that is going to unfold out of that particular situation. So anything that's calling you this week, my gorgeous Taurinis, just go for it, go for it, go for it. There is something very specific that you will do, and that specific thing that you will do, it's also going to create a certain goal at the same time, and this is just going to keep you going like there is no tomorrow, and it's going to create and make a rather beautiful, enlightening process. Very beautiful. You know, I just like this so much because it's bringing you also the moment in time when you will have a prosperity and well-being and luxury and extreme comfort. You are getting a very important stage, very much so closer when it comes to your own security and power. And I'm so happy for you, because that in itself is just going to bring you the whole new hope, and it's going to be connected to the certain bright prospects that you wouldn't have before, and that in itself is going to create an amazing starting point indeed. I really like it because it's also your justice is going to come through forward, and this is something that you have been waiting, and it's something that's to do with a long process that became very slow when it comes to your life, my gorgeous Taurinis. Okay, you see this, it's all about your own purification, it's all about a new start, it's all about you really feeling your energy that is going to be very vibrant. So try to do as much as you can, like especially if you need to kind of show your skills, if you want to like kind of show yourself, if you want to shine really brightly, this is most certainly going to be the week to do it, you see, because this is the week of blessings. This is the week of blessings, my gorgeous Taurinis. And also, when you see the little bird, you know, when you see the little bird that is going to have an angelic appearance this week, throughout this week, you will know that a very special opportunity is going to come and travel towards your way. Very special, yeah. Very special opportunity. As soon as you see the little bird. Very important moment in time, my gorgeous Taurinis. Okay, when it comes to your health, this is going to be a very good week, you know, because in particular it's going to be the very much so like a week of optimism. It is a very going to be a week of like the where I really highly suggest to do is to meditate as much as you can and try to ground yourself as much as you can. But of course, like a connection and reconnection with the nature would be highly advisable. Okay, also it would be quite good for you if you could kind of like exercise in a form of like a maybe swimming. You know, I know that it's not everyone can go to swim, you know, maybe you live in a really sunny part of the world, like somewhere where you can swim, which is absolutely great. But if you don't, you know, maybe you can go in the swimming pool, or if you can't do that, then maybe if you can just do some kind of exercises when it comes to your body, whatever you consider to be the exercise, just go for it, because it's going to be very good when it comes to boost of your energy. And what am I saying about water? It's just basically about this connection with the water. It's going to be very strong this week with you, Taurini. So when it comes to your own purification, this is going to be something that you are going to find quite beneficial. So even if you go into the bath and relax yourself in the bath, you know, with the water, within that energy, within that sphere, within that powerful energy, at the same time, this is going to have a really beautiful and rejuvenating effect on you. What I was going to say, very much so, just to make sure that you take organic acerola cherry powder. I know I say this every time, I'm sorry, but it is the natural form of vitamin C that everybody benefits from, and especially in particular when we are going through like this type of infections, cold and flu. It's just something to like kind of protect yourself that I think that you're gonna benefit from. Or organic acerola cherry powder is a natural source of vitamin C, as you know by now. You take 1 glass of water, you put a little bit teaspoon, mix it up and drink it the very first thing in the morning. I highly suggest you to do this throughout this week. And also very important, if you can drink some carrot juice, organic carrot juice, organic carrots, you will find quite beneficial as well, because you will have a little bit sensitive eyes when it comes to this week as well. And also, of course, it's the vitamin D. So you can get the vitamin D in a natural form, like a natural supplements, or you can get like you can eat certain food which is high in vitamin D, you see, and like for example, eggs are quite high in vitamin D and things like that. So you can eat food which is like rich in vitamin D, for example, or you can go in the sun, where you can get it from the sun if you live in a nice place, you see. So if you're on any other medications, if you are pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, you need to check with your doctor whether you can take these supplements or not. I mean, whether the supplements can interact with your existing medications or not. For those of you that are actually single and for those of you in relationship, for those of you in relationship, it is basically there is a certain problem, certain issue that you are going to kind of need to sort out. A little problem is going to come to the surface, and it's very important that you as a couple, that you don't let this dragging, okay? You just need to sort it out then and there. Certain problems, certain issues going to come to the surface, just like a little bubble, and it's going to require from both of you to kind of have the resolution by the end of the week. It's going to be absolutely fine. It's going to be absolutely brilliant, but just make sure that you don't kind of get stuck here karmically. Okay, for those of you that are single and ready to mingy, my gorgeous Taurinis, you see, for those of you that are single and ready to mingy, it is an important week of you loving yourself, you enjoying yourself, and this is the first time that you're gonna feel the way you're gonna feel after a long time. So it's very important for you to go out there and meet as many people as you can, you see, because it is all about you enjoying yourself. It is more about a group of people that is going to become very relevant to you this week. This group of people that you're going to meet, that you're going to be surrounded with, there's something very educated about them. There is something very smart going to be about them. There's something very clever and very intelligent going to be about them. And this group of people will be directly responsible for the certain inspiration. But that's not all. It's the fact that this group of people is going to be connected to the person who is about to enter your life. So it's all connected, my gorgeous Taurinis. It is all connected indeed. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is Gemini. Gemini, my gorgeous Gemini, basically it is just like, ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la, what are you going to wonder about this week? This week it's gonna create such a confusion, you know, but this is gonna be a good confusion at the beginning of this week, because it's just so much so it will be connected to the contemplation, you know, contemplation, and the reason why is because at the beginning of the week you will hear a very, very good news, and the good news that you are going to hear is most certainly going to come out of the blue. It's going to completely surprise you, and it's so much so to do with your own success, it's so much so to do with your own energy, so much so to do with your future planning, but also you will find yourself on a rather advanced level. And I find this so exciting because at the same time, the reason why you're going to be so happy and the reason why you're going to be so excited, my gorgeous Geminis, is because you will be able to get hold of this particular perspective, that is at the same time going to help you to feel yourself, feel the situation in a completely different way, and ultimately emerge, you know. It's about your own emergence, but also it's about your own passion, also it's about your own surprise, you know. It's something that you expected when it comes to an unfoldment, your own success, which is going to bring a wonderful balance, but it's going to take you somewhere else, much further, much higher, and that is going to create a new starting point, which is going to bring you promise and just change things a little bit, but in a nice way, because not only there will be like a little room for improvement, at the same time good room for improvement, rather mind-blowing room for improvement when you look at the situation from a whole angle, from a completely different angle, and you will be able to kind of you know, like pinpoint to certain things about your future, because you will be able to kind of realize that it's going to happen much quicker, much sooner. So therefore you will need to change your tactic a little bit, but this is also brilliant because it's going to help you to look at the situations from a slightly different angle, is what I just said, but it's most certainly going to bring you an amazing realization, and that realization is so important when it comes to the actual opportunity, when it comes to the financial opportunity, when it comes to some kind of obligation. But you will like this because this is going to be the highly vibrant moment in time for you as well, because you will know that this is connected to the actual next stage, apprenticeship. You know, you need to make sure that you kind of stay committed to the task at hand, but at the same time it's about a swift change, baby. It's about a swift change with a very, very stale stage period in your life that was affecting your radiance. My gorgeous Geminis, you were so busy. You just had a lot to do, and it's a lot unfolding and happening in Geminis' lives. I said millions of times, you're very powerful, you're very clever, so it's just so important for you to understand that you need to make your own decisions this week. I'm not saying that someone else is making your own decisions. I'm just saying that you're going to reach a very, very important and powerful levels of consciousness and subconsciousness. So you just have to trust yourself, because it's all about the big change that it's going to start happening in your immediate environment. And this is going to be really good because you're reaching a very important stage when it comes to your own power, security, excitement, you know, feeling really good about yourself. And that in itself is going to provide you with an opportunity to make a big change, something to do with your home, with your family, and you're going to feel absolutely great. I am talking about the honor. I am talking about feeling really great. I'm really talking about people being very proud of you, but also looking up to you at the same time. And that is going to mean to you so much. And it is going to be like your own spiritual petrol, my gorgeous Geminis, and it's going to push you and keep you going just right there where you needed a little push. At the same time, my gorgeous Geminis, you are going to have a confirmation by somebody very special in your life. at the right moment in timey. At the right moment in time, you're going to have a confirmation from someone very special in your life who's going to confirm to you and provide you with a green light, which means you will know exactly where to place this realization, confirmation, and when to start doing things differently, what this means exactly, and why April 2020 it's going to be so important when it comes to you, my gorgeous Geminis. Indeed, just watch this space, just watch this space, just watch this space. What I find really good here, it's because of your own justice as well. Your justice is coming, and that at the same time, you know, you're gonna hear an advice, you know, throughout that situation, but that is going to bring a wonderful balance, and it's just going to require from you to make a really important decision. The decision that you're going to make, it's going to go a long way, because it's going to help you to kind of like discover something about yourself, to prove something to yourself and to others. This is going to be an important moment of your own enlightenment, but at the same time, it's going to help you so much for the quality of life, to be happy, to be excitement. It's the return of excitement. You know, maybe you were working too much, maybe you were going too far, maybe you were thrown out of the balance. It happens, of course, and it's all part of our complex situation. And the bottom line is that once you reach this stage, once you realize, you know, how powerful this new stage is, this helps you to reflect in such a strong and powerful way. You're reaching an important moment, and you're going to make an absolutely mind-blowing decision, which is going to help you to kind of like to realize a certain hidden emotion is going to become evident, and it's going to require a certain adjustment from you, but it's all about your practicality, and also it's all about the time when you frequently feel restrained. So the balance is returning, the less work, less worrying, more fun. I think it's brilliant, and it's a very sacred moment in time indeed. It is just so important, because at the same time, you know, what I really like it, that the self-illumination is going to be so beautiful and so strong. That in itself, it's going to provide you with a path. It's going to provide you with a vision. It's an important, beautiful, powerful hermit state mode that you will have. An important hermit stage mode, which is at the same time going to provide you and with a new path, you know, with a path which is just going to be the product of this powerful self-illumination, but also very important Geminis, when you realize what you will realize, what you were in self-denial. Certain stage slowly came to an end, and it's going to require from you to do a little bit of pushy push. This pushy push is going to come from this particular situation, and it's so good because it's going to help you to deal with a certain withdrawal, but most certainly this is going to also create a new starting point, because it's all about the actual invocation, the clear focus that you are going to have at the same time, which is going to penetrate you in so many different ways, and which is going to, on another hand, boost your radiance, and also become an important and integral part of your own unfoldment. It's so brilliant, my gorgeous Geminis, indeed. Okay, so now this is the time of release. This is the time of negativity. This is a very important week for you to remember just to follow your own bliss, follow your own path. You're going to talk to somebody very important as well, and you might kind of lose a little bit of confidence, just a little bit. It is going to feel like that, but let me tell you something, don't you worry. Whatever you do, it's going to be right. Whatever you do, it's going to be correct. Whatever you do, it's going to be important. Whatever you do, you will do exactly what you were meant to do, because it's a sacred stage, sacred time, and there is no need to be fear. You just have to trust yourself. You see this, Geminis? Trust yourself. You'll be tested a little bit, but this is all part of the game. You're going to do so great. Indeed. Okay, so now I was just going to say, when it comes to your health, my gorgeous Geminis, when it comes to your health, you're gonna need a little bit of boost of like the actual energy. When it comes to the boost of energy, I just highly suggest, you know what? Organic spirulina, baby. Organic spirulina is brilliant, but I'm gonna need you to double up a little bit this week. So organic spirulina, you know, I always talk about like organic spirulina and organic acerola cherry powder. These are very important supplements that I think that we should be taking. But when it comes to the actual organic spirulina, I prefer it to be from Hawaii, and this is just coming from my extensive research that I did this for years. So it's just organic spirulina from Hawaii, and if you can take this like a double the dose, like for example, this is natural supplement without any horrible chemicals or any unnatural ingredients. So one dose, 1 teaspoon, at around 1 little teaspoon with water, if you can take in the morning, and then if you can take it around the lunchtime with the food, with the meal. If you decide to take it in a tablet form, which is natural as well, it would be equivalent to roughly at around like a 3 little tablets in the morning and 3 little tablets in the afternoon with the actual food. This is going to boost your energy levels really beautifully, and most certainly you are going to be able to feel this. It's so important to actually take this and also nuts. Of course, if you are allergic to nuts, then don't take nuts, please. Yeah, of course, you know. But if you're not allergic to nuts, then most certainly like a walnuts, Brazil nuts, almonds, they're absolutely brilliant when it comes to that boost. They're absolutely brilliant when it comes to that boost of energy. And it's absolutely brilliant when it comes to the actual protein as well. Something that I highly recommend. Okay, what else I was going to say, that it's going to be quite important for you, my gorgeous Gemininis, to actually take this week. Just make sure that you're using like a natural deodorant, please, because you're going to be quite sensitive when it comes to your skin. You're going to be sensitive when it comes to aluminum. I know it sounds weird, but you know, hey, it's just basically you need to just make sure that you're using natural deodorants, natural shower gels, natural creams, no chemicals, please. If you can't eat the cream that you put on your body, then just chuck it away. Then it's not good. You only put on your body what you can actually eat. So just make sure you're using natural creams, natural shower gels, and in particular this, my babies, yeah, deodorants. Do not use deodorants with aluminum. That's so dangerous. It's ridiculous. I spoke about it before. It blocks your pores. This is the way we have been sadly conditioned. Okay, so something so dangerous, people shouldn't be taking it. So I'm just saying it blocks your pores, and it just basically doesn't let you know, like your pores, your energy to kind of come out like the way it's meant to come out. It's terrible and it's dangerous. So that's why I'm saying just get aluminium free deodorants, please. They work. I mean, I work out, I do all sorts of things like with this natural aluminium free deodorants. They're absolutely fine. So if you can get like a natural aluminium free deodorants, and also just a little bit of vitamin D, an extra vitamin D in a natural supplement, or if you can get it from the sun, or if you can get it from eggs and the certain foods as well. If you're on any other medications, if you are pregnant or if you are breastfeeding, just need to check with your doctor or check with your GP, because only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. For those of you like in relationship, you know, it's you are entering a very, very special period. I think it's like, because of what you did, now this is the time of reward. Okay, what you were working for, what you were working on, what you were focusing on, it is all gonna come back at you really beautifully. So you are entering a very special stage when it comes to the couples. Yeah, very, very special stage indeed. And also it is a very important event that is going to take place, that you are both going to benefit from. That event is going to be directly responsible for some kind of idea confirmation for both of you. For those of you Gemininis that are single and ready to mingy, you see, it's all about flirting this week. It's brilliant, and there is someone in particular particular that you're going to be like kind of, hello my darling, flirting with, like there is no tomorrow. It is nothing serious, it is nothing like a life-changing, but it's just going to be so good for you because it's going to boost your confidence, because it's going to come from someone who you wouldn't think that would maybe flirt necessarily with you for whichever reason, but for whichever reason also that is going to boost your confidence. And there is something going to happen here, something is going to confirm to you that you are really ready to meet someone new. You will see exactly what I mean. Okay, I'm not saying that you weren't ready to meet someone new by now, but this is very deep, it's very emotional, and it's very complex, and it's to do with the karma, and it's to do with an unfoldment that took a certain amount of time in order to get to this place. Okay, so now before I do Cancerini, I'm just gonna do like a little bit of I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. The worst possible mug that I could possibly take. The worst mug. Look, but at least it's like, see, it goes with the forest, yeah? Leaves, yeah? Leaves. It's so nice. Sorry. There's a little microphone here. I hope you can't hear me swallowing, you know? Don't want to hear that. Okay, so now basically Cancerinis. You know, Cancerini, there is something took place not that long ago, within the last couple of weeks or so. You did something, you felt rejuvenated, you felt good with yourself, and you felt like you want to reward yourself. There was some kind of reward that already started taking unfoldment, or it already started. This is so important because it's either you decided to maybe reward yourself, to go somewhere, buy something different, go on a certain holidays, or you are about to do this. This is very important because this is also basically coming from the moment in time where you kind of reached an important stage of your spiritual journey, which means that something came to an end. And what came to an end is to do with a struggle, okay? And that particular struggle also, my gorgeous Cancerini, was preventing you to kind of like feel excited, preventing you to be happy. And this is nothing unusual. It's just like what the balance of energy does sometimes, but most certainly at the same time you had to learn on some kind of lesson. There was a certain lesson that you had to learn on, and that lesson is coming from you maybe not kind of reaching the certain stage, the certain unfoldment in your life as quick as you would want to do. Something just took slightly longer when it comes to particular unfoldment and the swift change. This is about to change now, my gorgeous Cancerinis, because what is actually going to happen this week, at the beginning of this week, this is going to be brilliant. There is, I'm telling you that you're reaching a very significant stage, very important stage, because this is all boiling down to what you wanted to do, what you wanted to make, what you wanted to create, what you wanted to focus on, but you just were waiting for the certain confirmation, you know, confirmation when it comes to you, confirmation when it comes to your health, confirmation when it comes to your security and power, confirmation when it comes to lots of other things that had to lead to this particular stage. There is a very big moment going to happen when it comes to the certain wish, certain dream, certain realization that you are getting very close to, with what you want to do, with what you like doing, and what you want to do next. This is going to be fantastic, bombastic moment in time, because by the end of that week, it is about you turning page over, you know, turning the tables around, okay? You were waiting for this moment in time, and that is going to provide you with a vision that is going to take place by the end of this week, my gorgeous Cancerinis, and this is going to require certain changes, certain adjustment, a little bit of investment, but the balance is going to be just perfect, the balance is going to be just right, and you will kind of know something about a certain time span span, how long something is going to take. There is a certain idea that you are going to have that is going to be rather attractive moment in time, and you will know that this is where your grounding in, this is where your strength is. You will know this is where your power is, because at the same time this is going to boost your confidence, and that in itself is going to make you feel very creative. That in itself is going to create an important healing stage. For those of you that didn't have any improvements, or you didn't see any improvements when it comes to like a long ailments, now most certainly you're going to see a wonderful improvement. On another hand, it's about a skill. On another hand, it's something that's going to come out, something that's going to shine very brightly, and it's to do with realization, and it's to do with something that's missing in your life. It's to do something, an idea, an option, the beginning, an opportunity. This is all going to make sense, because most certainly it's to do with your skill, happiness, a readjustment, adjustment, but it's bringing something into your life, which is at the same time going to become the biggest rebirth you had in a long time, and that in itself is going to give you a reason for celebration. An important person is going to confirm something to you, and that in itself, it's not only going to provide you with like a new beginning, but it's going to become an absolute wake-up call that you will have. My gorgeous Cancerinis, you know, it is just about the actual and moment in time when you know that basically there is going to be like a little bit of a kind of like a problem that it's also going to arise at around the midweek. But this problem is so good because it's also going to kind of like make you realize where you need to be careful, what you need to pay attention to, okay? Because it's going to help you to like kind of be more aware of an unknown dangers, my gorgeous Cancerinis. This is so important, and it's very complex, and it's an integral part of your spiritual journey, because there is a lot that you're going to learn. But most certainly you will know that this is an important time, because you will change your path a little bit. You will make a certain adjustment that you wouldn't normally have, and that is going to help you to save yourself from some kind of unknown danger that you could have kind of stepped into, some kind of tower situation. So most certainly you will spiritually be able to grow, and that in itself is going to be it's going to create a very wise moment, and also it's just going to immediately going to help you to make a decision, and that is going to become the greatest moment in time when it comes to your spiritual awakening, because it's going to bring a whole new hope, a recognition that you waited for a long time, and that in itself is going to create a new starting point. Absolutely beautiful, and very important to mention that you will have a little bit interruption, but just keep going, my babies, keep going. Remember to stay committed to the task at hand, okay? You know what's happening, you know what's going on, but you're just gonna end up into 2 or 3 extra things that you're gonna need to do, and it's going to seem like, oh no, I want to do one thing after another. No, baby, no. This is the time for complex. It's the time for complex issues, and as more you take on, the better unfoldment is going to be. The biggest problems you kind of come across with, the more fantastic and bright and fantastic outcome it's actually going to be, because it's all leading towards number 1. That's your lucky number this week, and number 1 is the very strong, very powerful. It's time to be unique, but at the same time this is providing you the whole new adventure, the beginning of a whole new adventure. Absolutely fantastic, and it is going to bring you an element of surprise, which is going to make you react in a certain way. It's going to be different, and that's exactly what your spiritual key is actually going to be. It's about creativity, the beginning of something absolutely fantastic. It's to do with what you want to do, like a skill, uniqueness, invention, you know, start of something absolutely vavavoom-ish indeed, and it's the beginning of a meaningful experience, like an adventure that is just going to bring so much beautiful color into your life. I really like it, because it's just gonna be literally life-changing, my gorgeous Cancerinis, indeed. Okay, when it comes to your health, I have to say that I'm seeing this again. It's to do with your skeleton, it's to do with your bones, but it's to do with your like a kind of like a energy as well at the same time, and a little bit of stress at the same time. So it's, I highly suggest you to get like a calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. I said this before, Cancerini, to you. Indeed, calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D products, natural supplements, or if you can get this from the food, would be absolutely fantastic, just as fine. Okay, and also B vitamins, a nice B vitamin complex, natural. It needs to be without any horrible ingredients, anti-caking agents, or you can get a food high and rich in B vitamins as well. This is going to help you for two things. One, it's going to be like your nervous system for your stress, and another thing, it's going to be your digestive system. Your digestive system is going to be a little bit sensitive, so if you can just also like kind of sip a little bit of aloe vera, organic, look at this baby, organic aloe vera juice, if you can sip, you know, like throughout the week, and this is going to be quite good for your digestive system, and it's going to regulate your digestive system, and it's going to be quite good for you as well. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor or GP, because only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. Okay, abundance, you see. Abundance, this is going to be brilliant. You know, I'll tell you something, my sweetnesses, you will make some very important decisions this week, yeah, and these decisions are going to mark an absolutely remarkable stage when it comes to being very, very solid, when it comes to security and power. You're reaching a very strong stage when it comes to having full control over a situation, and this is all due to your hard work. Okay, all due to your sweat and tears and hard work. You know what I say, it's very, very important moment in time you're reaching, Cancerinis, and I'm so happy for you. Also, you will feel very, very wise. You see, just be as wondrous as you can. Is that word, wondrous? Yeah, just try to basically be as adventurous as you can and be as open-minded as you can. Let me tell you something, as more you are around the situations that you don't have much experience about, the better it's going to be. Watch this space, my gorgeous Cancerinis, watch this space. Okay, so now the next sign, Now basically what else I was going to say is just that for those of you in relationship, I know, for those of you in relationship, it's the basically, oh, this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. It's something, your partner is going to come up with something. Your partner is going to come up with a certain option, with a certain idea. Don't ignore it. Okay, because it's some kind of beautiful little flower that is going to come out of it, and it's going to be gorgeous like this, you see. But the actual partner, where your partner comes up with it, the actual stage then and there, it's going to be like a tiny little seed. So you must not miss it, you know, just plant it into the ground, yeah. Time to plant that particular seed into the ground. Your partner is going to come up with something, an idea that's going to seem like little, but it's going to be like, ooh la la. Okay, now, for those of you that are single, and ready to mingy Cancerinis, I'm seeing someone like really special here, because I think karmically you maybe went through someone with something and you were still kind of holding on to that person quite a lot, whether you realize or not, because only now you're reaching this particular stage when it comes to your own contentment, when it comes to your own karma, when it comes to your own spiritual journey. So therefore you have to learn through a certain experience. It all depends. It's quite complex, and most certainly it's to do with the actual your karma, your spirit journey, and the certain harmonious energy that creates this particular starting point. But what I was going to say is just that basically someone is really going to inspire you. You're going to meet someone this week, and that person is really going to inspire you, and something is going to happen different, you know. Something is going to happen in a not completely different way, but in a slightly different way. You will meet this person not like oh my god, he's gorgeous, she's gorgeous, hello my darling. No, not in this way, but it's like more like in a friendly way, or more like someone is going to help you with with something, and that is going to impress you, and this is going to kind of start this, ooh la la, hello darling, that this particular starting point. So you are going to meet someone, but maybe perhaps when you meet that person, you're not going to kind of think about that, and that is already going to open all sorts of other doors that wouldn't normally open, because you're not blocking this by keep on focusing on it too much. Because people sometimes focus too much, oh, I want to have someone, but that energy can very much so become desperate energy very easily. I'm not saying you were desperate, don't get me wrong, but this energy can become desperate energy, and then that desperate energy is not good, you see. So that's why it's good to release. Okay. So the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Leonis. My beautiful, beautiful Leonis. I'm so happy for you, because it is about the perspective, the whole new perspective that you're actually going to have this week. The whole new perspective is going to come from the fact, from the actual good news, from the some kind of like an option that is at the same time going to become quite attractive as well. Through this good news, you're gonna hear, you're gonna know immediately, it's gonna be connected to a certain option and a certain idea as well. I will say this: you were worrying about some kind of possession of yours. You were worrying about maybe it wasn't in your hands. You know, something happened like a few years ago, and it just also kind of created a certain point, the certain negativity. This could have been like the situation in your life that unfolded badly, like maybe you've lost someone. Is the similar to what I've seen to Taurinis, I think. Yeah, maybe you lost somebody, you know, or it was like a very negative starting point that happened, and then that just creates like so many other veins, you know, it creates so many other routes, you know, it creates so many other pathways, doorways, you know, situations at the same time, but that all becomes not as relevant as everything else, or not as relevant as that particular situation that happened. So do you understand what I mean? So maybe you've lost someone, or something really big changed and happened within the last like quite few years, you know, and now this created a very important karmic moment, and it was so important to you, that particular situation, that, you know, other things around, they just fade, because you're emotionally attached to the certain person, to the certain situation, and it's very much so to do with these emotions that just basically shine over everything else, and that in itself just kind of put pause on certain things, you know, put pause on certain situations in your life until you reach this particular stage of unfoldment. Karmically, you had to go through this. Sorry, I just need to do this. You know, I've got a precious. I've got a precious in my ear. Precious, you know, that actress. No, I've got a pressure in my ear. I've got a pressure in my ear. Yeah, basically this is what I was going to say. This situation, you know, is just to do with like a very emotional situation that affected you, and that sadly leaves like lots of other trails around, like like a different routes, you know, basically like a different pathways, different situations, like aroused at the same time, and that kind of created a certain problems. But these problems, you know, is just more like to do with a certain lessons to you, with the certain things that you need to kind of go over and kind of reach to the certain stage when you are ready. So this is why this week is going to be very much so relevant to this rebirth at the same time. Something very important, it's also going to happen through your own possession, something that you have, okay. You're gonna hear a very good news about it. Like, for example, it's something that you have, or something that you've lost, or something, and it's so much to do with like things that we use every day. It's so much to do with our lives. It's so much to do with our security. It's to do with our home. It's to do with like a confusion that was created at the same time. just keep your eyes open. Do not bring yourself down, because Leonis, my gorgeous babies, you're also tested at the same time. Very much so, at the end of this week, there is going to be a mind-blowing starting point that you are going to have, but beforehand you will be tested. You need to remember that you're also entering a very complex stage, complex period. So it is going to be a certain test that you're going to be under. The particular test that you're going to be under, it's going to be testing your patience. It's going to be testing your karma. It is going to be testing your energy, and it's most certainly going to be quite good. There is a stage that Leonis, you are entering at the same time that is maybe becoming like a little bit like a multi-dimensional indeed, but this is purely because something just kind of took a slightly different turn within the last couple of weeks also. Something took a slightly different turn, and this is so important because it means that it's so much so to do with a certain reflection, to do with a certain path, and it's required from you to go back and see what path have you done. What have you done? What you need to kind of like think about? Was there something that you took? Was there a wrong turn, wrong journey? No, baby, no. It's to do with you being in self-denial. You need to be honest with yourself. You need to be open with yourself. It's the time of changes is slowly coming, but it's very much so important for you to realize that, and not that long ago, you took the certain turn. You took the wrong turn because instead of like realizing the situation and your life for what it is, you just hoped, oh no, you just maybe got scared of the certain change. Maybe there was like a certain change and unfoldment that was in front of your very own eyes, but you're really scared of the uncertainty. You're scared of the unknown. Okay, you're scared of like maybe starting things over. There is nothing to be scared of, my gorgeous Leonis, and this is why this is going to be an important moment in time, because you're going to learn something so important about yourself. At the same time, that is going to bring you inspiration and potential, and also it's going to give you so much courage in order to come to terms with a certain change which is going to take place, but it's going to require from you to make a necessary penetration, to make a necessary adjustment, to make a necessary readjustment. It needs to come from you in order, it needs to come from you, from your own understanding, because only from you and from your own understanding you're going to be able to get a clear picture. And once you get a clear picture, you will just know it's time to move on, where to go, what to do, because at the same time this moment of rebirth is going to provide you with an absolutely mind-blowing vision. It's so good, it's so good, it's so good, because it's at the same time going to become such a beautiful moment in time when it comes to your own awakening as well, but it's going to be an absolutely mind-blowing turning point, and turning point which is at the same time going to kind of like create certain crossroads, but it's going to be so good, it's going to be brilliant, because an unfoldment of events by the end of this week, it's going to create a turning point where you will really, even if you think where you can be, what you can do, where you can be around, who you can be around, there is still going to be the situation at around the end of the week that it's going to kind of make you be part of the dimension and make you be part of the group of people who you wouldn't normally be. And this is going to create an absolutely mind-blowing Vavumish starting point, because something is going to be required from you, and without you even realizing, you're going to kind of attach yourself to the new stage, new option, new direction, through you reacting completely differently in a different way. So it means it's going to come deeply through your subconscious mind, from your own subconscious mind, and this is going to be absolutely remarkable, because it's going to change your life. It's going to provide you with an absolutely fantastic opportunity. It's going to give you strength and courage. It's going to confirm things to you, and it's also going to provide a moment in time where you're going to be able to come up with the conclusion, with the problem, and things are going to start making sense, and it's all about you enjoying enjoying yourself, releasing yourself, you know, listening to yourself, and just setting yourself free from these karmic chains that were holding you down. It's a very important transformational butterfly moment that you are going to have, and that in itself, it's going to make you even more assertive when it comes to the actual opportunity, the certain grief that you've been going through, and this is all going to come to an end. And most certainly you're going to feel very excited and very happy, because you will have a control over a situation like you felt like you didn't have in a long time. It's all about you feeling free, all about you enjoying yourself, and of course it's going to be connected to the certain little sacrifice, change, adjustment. But it's just now you're going to step into the fear, you're going to step into the unknown, you know, in a completely different way, with so much bravery, so much positivity, so much optimism. And it is just all about moving on and doing things that you want to do, that you wanted to do this for such a long time. Enough of doing things that you know that you don't want, you know, enough being around things, you know, where you don't want to be around. This is the time of changes, and it's just going to become very vibrant moment in time for you, where you're going to come to terms with certain things, and that is going to create an absolutely fantastic starting point. But at the same time, you're going to realize that by doing this, you're gonna move away from some kind of a dangerous situation. You're actually going to this is going to be like a little alert that you are going to have, and it's gonna make you realize, oh my god, you will escape the negativity, you will escape a little danger, you will escape a little like a naughty, dangerous moment as well, by making the right decision. But you will realize this, you will know this at the right moment, at the right time. You know, it's the time to not to feel restrained, and it's time to enjoy your life and make a very important decision here as well. What else I was going to say, you know, is sorry. It's so good. This is so important. What I was going to say is just like a karmically, I know this is going to feel bizarre, but karmically, you're going to need to release something. And when you release something karmically that is just part of your life, it looks like maybe you were holding on to something that you shouldn't, like a certain negativity. Maybe somebody hurt you not that long ago. Maybe it was a long time ago. It is just so important, my gorgeous Leonis, that you need to learn how to let go. I'm not saying that you forgive, you know, and forget, you know, I'm not saying that, sorry, for you to forget, but it's important to forgive, and forget. But of course, it's so easy for me to say, it depends what it happened, you know, because will be the return of this person who hurt you in your life this week. But this is just so important. I know it sounds really tough, but that person is going to return either physically or either in your mind, either physically or either in your mind. It doesn't really matter. Even if it returns in your mind, it means that it's going to become the part of your vision, the part of your process. You will be thinking about this person who just made you feel really negative and bad, but then you may not realize that you just don't hold grudge, because this is all going to be the part of the certain little test that you're going to have. You just need to learn to realize that you need to let that person go. You need to forgive them and forget, okay? At least forgive, you know, but it's important to forgive and forget, because at the same time, it is not even about them. It's about yourself. You release yourself from that situation. You set yourself free, okay? You make yourself optimistic. You make yourself grow. You give a room to your spirit to grow. This is going to be the little test that you're going to have, and it's important to get it right, my gorgeous Leonis, indeed. What else I was going to say, you know, this week is just going to really lead towards an amazing improvement when it comes to things that you do, like the things that you like focus on, your work, your career, what you want to do, what makes you feel really good and vavoomeish, what brings you out yourself, you know, what is like really an important part of your spiritual journey. It's all going to make sense here. This is so important for your improvement, development, promotion, and a very, very strong and important time when it comes to the outcome of past efforts, which is going to lead towards your own rebirth by the end of this week. Very, very good, my gorgeous Leonis. Very, very good. It's time to trust yourself as much as you can. Okay, you see this, look at this, my gorgeous Leonis, it's transformation. Of course that this is all about your own transformation. So it's going to be a weird week, it's going to be strange, it's going to be half of the week it's going to be brilliant, and half of the week is going to be strange and deep, you know. And that's why I'm saying, because you're going through your own transformation. The weirdest problems are, I said this before, the most significant time is going to be later on. Absolutely fantastic. My gorgeous Leonis, I'm so happy for you. On another hand, what else I was going to say is just that basically, you see, when it comes to your health, it is the cold and flu for sure as well. I'm seeing this infection type of things, and I'm seeing this cold and flu type of things like there is no tomorrow. So I need to let you know, organic acerola cherry powder, it's a natural form of vitamin C that I recommend every single time, and it's very important and it's very significant when it comes to boosting your immune system by boosting like a vitamin C within your body. But this is so good when it comes to the actual cold and flu symptoms and things like that. Throughout this week, I highly suggest you to take 1 teaspoon of organic acerola cherry powder the very first thing in the morning, and this is going to be so good for you throughout the week, and it's going to boost your vitamin C levels. On another hand, very important, if you can just basically like drink as much as water as you can. Try to avoid sugar, because there is a certain sensitivity that you are going to have to sugar. And very important also to make sure that inside your mouth you use a fluoride-free toothpaste and a fluoride-free mouthwash. I'm showing that because I've got it in my bathroom. My bathroom is that way, by the way, yeah. But it's just basically, it's the fluoride free. So important, because inside your gums, inside your mouth, this is all going to be quite sensitive. So avoid fluoride products. Fluoride free toothpaste and fluoride-free mouthwash, but if you can have it like aloe vera and tea tree, it's quite good, you see, for both mouthwash and toothpaste. And this is something that's going to be quite good for your mouth. And also organic acerola cherry powder, it's also going to help you with the healing inside your mouth at the same time. And the vitamin D for your bones, and the calcium for your bones. These two things are very important also, vitamin D and calcium. And if you can just make sure that they're natural, without any horrible ingredients or anything like that, because this is going to help you quite a lot. If you're on any other medications, if you are pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor, you just need to check with your GP, because only your doctor or GP can actually let you know whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. And also for those of you who are in relationships, you see, it's really important to say that there is this certain change that it's going to come through. Certain change is going to become a part of the scenario. And I say change because your partner is kind of like going to have a certain success. And the success that your partner is going to have is going to provide you with an option that you wouldn't normally have. And this is going to become evident here. And that in itself is at the same time going to become really beautiful idea that is going to help you both to kind of make some kind of a change or some kind of option. It's going to kind of become available much sooner than what you actually thought. So this is going to be quite brilliant, you know. It's going to be the reason to celebrate, most certainly. Okay, for those of you who are actually single and ready to mingy, it's an excellent time to go out and flirt as much as you can, because your energy is going to be very beautiful when it comes to the actual peak of your own activity, which is going to help you to reflect in so many different ways. And that in itself, it's going to re-energize you, it's going to make you feel really good. There's going to be the return of energy that you're going to have, and most certainly cheeky, you know, you're gonna feel really cheeky throughout the week. And this is why that lots of flirting will be going on, but you're gonna love it, because this is going to create a certain boost of confidence, something that you needed for such a long time. And karmically, you know, someone who you were maybe like holding on to, you know, is just slowly gonna start drifting away, whether you realize this or not. So that subconsciously is just gonna make you feel even more vibrant when it comes to flirting. So most certainly go out there and flirt as much as you can, because it's going to be returned, but it's going to create a really wonderful boost of energy within you, indeed. Okay, so now before I just do Virgolinis, I'm just going to go for a second. I'm going to be back in a second, indeed. Just a second. You know how I disappear always. Okay. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Spilled coffee on the floor. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. My gorgeous Virgolinis, okay? This is for you now, and basically, I will tell you something very, very important. You are most certainly entering an absolutely mind-blowing stage, okay? It's to do with your reward. It's to do with your accomplishment. and it's to do with the opportunity that is just going to walk into your life at the beginning of this week and slap you beautifully in your face. This is so good because it's at the same time going to create an absolutely mind-blowing wake-up call. This is about you, this is about your wake-up call, and this is going to shake you up really nicely because it's at the same time going to awaken you. It's going to awaken things within you, in you, that have been sleeping for a long time. So if you did kind of have a stage where you kind of feel like you have lost yourself, you know, with the everyday like events, you know, with certain things that took a slightly long time in order to unfold and develop, you know, the way you wanted them to develop, you will realize exactly, you will realize exactly what you need to do. There is the certain very beautiful option that is going to become available to you when it comes to the financial opportunity, but most certainly it's also at the same time it's going to create this fantastic starting point which is going to boost your confidence as well. You know, it is just maybe it's going to require from you to kind of look at your situation from a slightly different angle, and this particular vision that at the same time you're going to have, it's going to become more strong and more vibrant and more powerful, and it's just so much so to do with things that you wanted to do within the past 24 months. This is why this is so important, because this is going to be an absolutely remarkable stepping stone, an absolutely remarkable spiritual bridge which you're about to start crossing here. But the difference this time is going to be you will be able to get hold of the certain things about your immediate future that you're gonna make an important decision here, and that decision is just going to change everything because it's going to make you feel so optimistic. It's going to bring you so much promise. It's going to help you to have a boost of radiance, and that in itself is going to help you to have a clear focus with things on your life in a slightly different way, with a completely different balance, which is going to bring you a rather nice and balanced force, a beautiful opportunity that you need to take. That opportunity may not even seem as huge as it actually is, but most certainly the actual June 2020, it's going to be so huge and it's going to be amazing. And by the time we actually get to June 2020, you're going to be so delighted, you're going to be so happy, you're going to be so excited that you actually went towards this road. There's something, it's also going to kind of surprise you. How come that you have so much force? How come that you have so much confidence when it comes to this particular unknown stage, which is also at the same time going to become rather a powerful moment in time for you, because it is going to bring you this absolutely mind-blowing perspective that you are going to have. And you know, it's going to give you confidence to end something, to finish something in your life that was really dragging and preventing you to move on. This is a highly powerful karmic situation which is coming to an end, which means that the stage that you were kind of holding on to was also kind of bringing you down without you even realizing, and preventing you to kind of move on with the certain stages in your life. It's so good because it caused some kind of a grief in the past, it caused some kind of negativity in the past, and it's also kind of like made you slightly indecisive because it was connected to you kind of basically just do things slightly differently by basically rediscovering things about yourself, but listening to your subconscious mind, you know, listening to yourself. This is an important time when I really think that throughout this week, please, my gorgeous Virgolinis, try to kind of like really make sure that you listen to yourself, make sure that you're honest with yourself, make sure that that you are truth to yourself, because if you are not, and then this is just going to kind of slow you down, and you're not going to go towards this particular route. You need to make sure that you're honest with yourself. This is the combination of you, it's the combination with your emotions, it's combination with what you want to do, it's to do with your finances, security and power. This is all going to become very relevant stage, in a very relevant moment in time, because it's part of your own awakening, and also having a control over a situation, that it's coming through your own justice, that it's coming through that particular balance. And at the same time, you know, when you hear about a certain justice that you've been waiting for, at the same time there is a powerful advice that you will have, you know, and that advice is also going to be one of the biggest confirmations that you possibly had. Okay, you have been waiting for this for a long time, and this in itself is going to be an amazing starting point. When it comes to the certain patience, you know, that patience is going to be directly responsible for the actual wise option that you went for over the last 17 months. For the last 17 months, something happened, and you didn't, thank God that you didn't overreact. You just kind of stuck to the same journey, which was absolutely perfect thing to do. So now that is going to bring you a reward, and it's to do with the success. Okay, my gorgeous Virgolinis, there is a great success that you are going to have this week, and that is going to bring you such a long-awaited sense of security, which is going to boost your confidence, boost your self-esteem, and that in itself is going to bring the whole new inspiration and potential. Immediately you will know what part of your life is going to need to be abandoned. But on another hand, this is all about material attainment and finding yourself in a rather beautiful and advanced stage. Do you know how you're gonna feel? Like, you're gonna realize, like, oh my God, like, I'm so special, I'm so different, like, oh my God, I'm so powerful. You will be in touch with certain people who are going to confirm this to you. These people don't have to be the special people in your life. It could be people who you work with, it could be people who you like maybe training with or something, you know, it could be people who you kind of have a certain like a contact with, through who you're gonna understand and realize how special and how powerful and how different and how amazing and how beautiful and how strong and how special you actually are. And that, my gorgeous Virgolinis, is going to create an absolutely mind-blowing starting point, and it's going to boost your confidence like there is no tomorrow. Immediately this is going to bring an amazing starting point, which is also going to make you be part of the group of people at around the end of the week as well, where you wouldn't normally be, and you will impress someone to the certain point, to the certain level that will impress you as well at the same time. But that is just also going to be an absolutely remarkable stage for you, because it's immediately going to make you realize that there is a certain challenge that you will have, but you will be keen for this competition, you will keen for the certain challenge, because most certainly the actual balance and air energy, in a sense of a balanced force, is going to be on your side. Very, very good moment in time indeed, where the actual also, like, when it comes to rejuvenation, when it comes to your health, and when it comes to those of you who have been suffering from long ailments that you didn't actually see any improvements, most certainly now you are going to see the improvements. And also it is about victory. This is a highly victorious time, my gorgeous Virgolinis, when you are going to really have your feet on the ground, and that in itself is just gonna really create an unfoldment of the certain events that wouldn't normally happen, and that is going to be directly responsible for the actual invocation that you're going to have, that you're going to start, that it's actually going to become a massive manifestation later on in your life, and it's just going to be your ticket to something absolutely remarkable. I can't express enough how important it is for you to be as adventurous adventurous as you can, as open-minded as you can. It's again about a highly problematic time that you do, that you deal, that you go through, that it's at the same time building you to such a high level, and it's providing your spirit with a very, very advanced stage, which is exactly what your job is going to be here, which job is going to be here when it comes to this earth. Every single one of us is good for something. Every single person is good for something very special. We are all special in a different way, and I'm talking about this particular stride, this particular option, this particular realization that is at the same time going to boost your confidence, but it's going to bring you a mind-blowing promise. Somebody very important in your life also, it's going to somebody who is like around you, family member or partner, somebody is going to inspire you at the same time. This inspiration is going to be so beautiful, because it's going to help you to realize that a very difficult stage of your life, very annoying, very slow stage of your life, it's over sooner than you thought, and that it's going to start and have a moment of like a beautiful healing, which is going to bring you abundance, perfection and fulfillment, joy, that you happiness, and that is going to make you very, very productive indeed. Every single productivity that you have, every single energy that you have this week, that you go along, that you use it in a sense of like being very open-minded, in a sense of like throwing yourself in all sorts of situations. There is a certain reflection from the past that is also gonna come back and bring you and help you to have an insight to the ongoing problem, which is in itself going to be a fantastic starting point, and it's going to bring you beauty and pleasure and very beautiful moments in time when it comes to goodness overflowing and favorable outlook. This is so good because it's all about the prosperity, security, safety, and a very important family matter. There is some kind of family matter that is going to take place, and this is also so important, oh my god, because it's going to require from you to have a particular input. You will have the really fantastic power when it comes to this week, but it's going to be required from you to make a necessary input, okay, which is going to be adjustment and readjustment when it comes to the certain family matters, okay, and that is going to be an absolutely golden unfoldment that is going to take place here. Indeed, it's so important. And also, you know what, if there is any week, if there is any month, if there is any day that I can say where you will be able to kind of to feel this balance so powerfully, it's going to be this, because this is going to bring you an opportunity and realization, how powerful and how special you are, and that in itself is going to bring you reward, very, very powerful reward, and this reward is going to be a reflection of all the hard work and hard things that you went through, and most certainly it's about to change your life. My gorgeous Virgo lineage, just don't remember that this is highly powerful time when it comes to your own transformation. As more you get rid of the old that you don't want anymore, this is important moment in time. You need to think what is bringing you down, what is making you feel unhappy, what is slowing you down, why you're not living your life to your full potential. This is all going to come to the surface, and it's all going to make sense, and it's all going to require from you to make a necessary changes, okay? You don't need to make any change, like completely all the changes like this week. No, baby, no. But it's about the balanced force that is going to create a new starting point. So you don't need to do it physically, but it's all about your mind. It's all about your manifestation, and just making sure that you are doing things in the right way by being very optimistic and very open-minded throughout this week. It's beautiful because it's all about your own security and power, and most certainly a bearer of an important news. There is going to be a person that you think of very highly, that is a very significant person in your life that it's also going to kind of deliver you a very important news at the beginning of this week. And that particular news is going to create a green light, like go. You will know that this is an important starting point when it comes to the certain investment. On another hand, this is a great week to invest, okay? This is the great week to kind of negotiate, and this is also absolutely fantastic and mind-blowing week if you want to kind of like throw yourself in the water and learn how to swim, especially if you want to kind of like connect yourself to an unknown situations, but so much so to do with what you wanted to do, where you wanted to achieve, where you wanted to go, but without the blockages, without the negativities, without like kind of blocking yourself and putting all the walls around you, and then you're unable to see what is behind the wall. These walls are about to be shifted, and at the same time it's creating a very important stage when it comes to your own transformation, my gorgeous Virgolinis. This is important because it is just a stage where you felt, you see, like you are not living your life to its full, you know, where you felt like completely restrained, you know, what was bringing you down, what deep down you knew that you needed to do. You knew that these changes are coming, but you were just waiting for the certain confidence, for the certain courage. For now, most certainly, this is all about trying different things. It's all about being open-minded and staying true to yourself, my gorgeous Virgolinis. Important moment in time. This is going to create an important gateway, you see. This week is going to change everything. This week will be very important for you, my gorgeous Virgolinis. Just watch this space, okay? Very, very important. You are enter a very, very significant stage of a great happiness and positive events. And in order to go along and feel this energy and vibration to its full, you just have to be as open-minded and adventurous as you can, but also listen to yourself. Pay attention to your dreams, and most importantly, throughout this week, pay attention to what's the very first thing on your mind every single morning, because every single morning we are still connected to our subconscious mind. We are connected to all sorts of dimensions. We are always like part of quite a few different dimensions indeed. But I told you, like when we sleep, we have astral projections every single night, but we just don't remember. This is because we use our whole brain. When we are like this, you know, we just use the certain percentage of the brain. When we go to sleep, we use the whole, you know, the whole brain, and that makes us absolutely super powerful. And this is why the first few minutes when we wake up in the morning, we open our eyes. This is why we are so wise, we are so clever, we are so powerful, we are so strong. We are absolutely super wise because we are having all sorts of informations from our spirit guides and guardian angels there for us. Pay attention to what's the very first thing on your mind, because this is what you need to pay attention to. Even if it's like, oh yeah, I just need to watch the window. Oh yeah, go and watch the window, because this is some kind of breakthrough of energy that you will have that is going to bring something else to this sacred balance. Okay, very, very important to listen to your dreams, to watch for your dreams and listen to yourself as well. Okay, and this is, you see, again, flexibility is just so important, because you will realize how much you were holding yourself down because the certain stage came to an end, and it's just going to require from you to make a necessary adjustment. Okay. What else I was going to say, my gorgeous Virgolinis, it's basically now when it comes to your health, you really need to make sure that you eat as healthy as possible. Make sure that you are drinking as much water as possible. Make sure that you avoid sugar if you can, please. And then instead maybe organic honey. If you don't want to have organic honey, then if you can have maybe a stevia. Stevia is a natural sugar, and it's quite safe, and it's not vile like normal sugar. But normal sugar you're gonna find quite strong sensitivity to this week. So I'm just basically, this is what you need to do. And also try to make sure that you're eating food which is high in protein and low in fat, but most certainly high in protein, because protein is going to be something that you're going to benefit from. And also, if you have a lack of energy, it's just so important if you can nibble on nuts. I'm going to say to you again, if you're having a nut allergy, of course, then you don't nibble on nuts, you don't eat nuts. But if you don't have a nut allergy, then if you can kind of like eat nuts, like just a few nuts a day would be like a Brazil nut, walnuts, almonds, hazelnuts. You know, these are brilliant nuts to actually use when we need a little boost of energy. On another hand, what else I highly recommend to keep on taking vitamin D, it's for your bones, and also to keep on taking like a calcium as well, which is going to be good for your skeleton. So it's a calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D, natural supplements if you can take, and or also carry on taking, please, organic acerola cherry powder. Organic acerola cherry powder I recommend almost every time, but it's important because it's going to help you to boost your immune system, and this is the time when you're going to feel a little bit sensitive when it comes to cold and flu. And as I said before, try to make sure that you are meditating and grounding yourself throughout this week. Please, it's just so important because it's going to help you to get rid of the negativity, but it's also going to help you to clear the certain pathways, and it's also going to provide you with ideas that you wouldn't normally have because you will penetrate this particular balance. Okay, and important to be somewhere by the water, to go to spend the time, or somewhere in the forest to hug the tree. It's going to be very important for your grounding, meditation, and rejuvenation. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, then you just need to check with your doctor. You just need to check with your GP, because only your doctor, GP, can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. Okay, so also, my gorgeous Virgolin is now basically, when it comes to those of you in relationship, you see, it is just going to be very good news that your partner is actually going to have, and it's to do with a certain money, maybe it's to do with a certain inheritance, it's to do with a certain money. And that is going to be really good news because it is just going to provide you with an option that you wouldn't normally have. So therefore, finances are going to be quite good actually this week indeed, but most importantly, it's going to provide you with an option, with an opportunity that you wouldn't normally have, and you will make a very important decision, both of you, when it comes to some kind of a possession. You will see exactly what I mean. Important. Okay, so now basically for those of you that are single and ready to mingy, my gorgeous Virgolinis, you know, it's important because it is just all about the flirting. It's all about you enjoying yourself, all about you going out there. And there are quite a few people that you're actually going to meet that are going to really be an important part of your life later on. This week it's going to be important when you meet certain people, but in like more like in a friendly way. But someone in particular is going to return your flirty, and that person is just going to become very important in your life indeed. But I just have to say, it's one step at a time. It's more about you realizing something very important about yourself through this person, and that's going to help you to move on. And that's exactly what you needed. That's exactly what you wanted. That's exactly what you were waiting for indeed. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Libra. Libra, 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 Libera. Libera, 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 heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying if you care enough, but are living. Make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world, make it a better place For you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough about a living, make a better place for you and for me. You and for me. You and for me. You and for me. Make a better place. My gorgeous Libra, my gorgeous Libra, my gorgeous Libra. Be happy, be happy. Sing as much as you can this week, because it's going to raise your vibration. By raising your vibration, you're raising your energy. By raising your energy, you're raising your radiance. By raising your radiance, you're able to achieve, you're able to make, you're able to start, you're able to make to have a significant unfoldment, in a very powerful way, which is at the same time going to speed things up. Libra, work on your problems, work on the issues this week that are really slowing you down. They will become very evident, because certain things are going to unfold in such a way where it's going to require from you to look at the situation from a slightly different angle, and that is going to reveal all sorts of things. There are 3 important things that are going to be revealed to you, my gorgeous Libra, this week, and these 3 things are most certainly going to help you to make an important decision towards your own greatest grand spiritual awakening, but it's to do with the security, power, luxury, and culmination, which is at the same time going to go back to last 2 months and indecisiveness, with a very strong power of yours that you were bringing down, that you were not ignoring, but you were just kind of waiting to kind of come to terms with a certain stage of your life in order to kind of start doing things slightly differently. Most certainly, this is going to create an important starting point, and you're going to make a decision here, my gorgeous Libras, very important decision, and you will know at the same time it's just as important the sacrifice you're going to need to do in order to reach this high level of your own rebirth, the high level of your own rejuvenation. And that in itself, it's going to also confirm unrealistic attitudes and a little imagination about a certain stage of your life, something that maybe you started within the last 7 months, and it was quite, not that you started within the last 7 months, but especially in particular within the last 7 months, this was bringing lots of questions. And now this is going to confirm this to you, that this is time to move on. And it's most certainly important to understand that this is the beginning of quite strong transformation, my gorgeous Libra. And it's all about the clearing away the old to make way for the new. It's about the alteration indeed. And most certainly it's a fantastic moment in time, because there is a really beautiful and powerful investment that you are going to have, and that in itself is gonna be very good for you later on, because it's on one hand going to be quite successful, but it's also going to provide you with a perspective and situation that you wouldn't normally have provided, so it's a very, very good moment in time indeed. But it's all about the actual hope as well that you are going to have, and also it's the development that is going to take place. It's going to bring you promotion, which is going to be connected to the outcome of past efforts, and it's going to be so good, because there is going to be a little surprise, also the certain stage of your life that you didn't think that it's actually going to work out just as well. It's just going to have a rather nice little surprise when it comes to the actual swift change, and that swift change is going to be completely connected to you realizing that there is a certain effort that you need to pay attention to that you wouldn't normally do, and that you just need to carry on. Confirmation that you are also on the right track, that you're on the right journey, but it's just going to take slightly longer. It's about the patience, and it's about the choice, and it's just about to keep going and keep going and keep going. You will most certainly have an important news at the same time, which is going to confirm to you that there is the bright new prospect, bright new dimension, bright brand new direction, it's actually going to take place. And it's so good for you because it's going to get you thinking. It's going to put you in a little bit of a baby hermit mode, but this is so good because it's at the same time going to help you to expand your mind, and also to have a, it's going to help you to self-illuminate your situation around you to such a high extent, which is just going to boost your confidence, boost your power. It's going to bring you a whole new promise, and it's going to make you feel very, very creative. And that in itself is going to be your strength, because your creativity is going to have its high levels of how powerful it's going to be, how strong it's going to be, how radiant it's going to be. And you are going to really pretty much so discover a very important passion of yours. And it's not about discovering it for the first time, but it's just going to be very much so enlightened, something that you should be paying attention to. But it's most certainly coming at the right moment, at the right time, through an ancient healing wisdom, which is on another hand going to boost your energy, boost your confidence, and it's also going to make you feel so much better. If you were feeling a little bit drained, if you kind of like didn't see any improvements when it comes to long ailments and things like that, you should be seeing improvements now, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm so happy for you, because it's on one hand, this is the beginning of something very important when it comes to the actual very, very meaningful experience. You will have a very, very meaningful experience, and that meaningful experience is also going to make you realize there is some kind of adventure that is about to unfold for you, and it's time to completely go for it, because you're going to discover you are entering a very special period, of contentment and peace and realization, which is just going to help you to kind of like have a slightly different perspective, on things, slightly different view of things, which is on another hand going to immediately make things going, make things moving where they were very, very slow. Because it's all about your power of your mind, it's all about your own direction, it's all about your own manifestation, that is most certainly going to make you feel very, very assertive, where you need to be assertive. And it's just that in itself is going to be an amazing moment in time when it comes to your own recognition. I'm so happy because this is about your success, it's about your accomplishment, it's about you feeling really good and really great about yourself, you feeling proud of yourself, but even more importantly, people around you who are going to shine their light on you at the same time, which is just going to make you feel even better. And that is going to mean to you so much, because this is this very special grounding that you are going to receive through your own accomplishment, through your own enlightenment, which is just going to make you feel so good. It's going to boost your confidence when you need it, and it's going to bring the whole new inspiration and potential and wonderful opportunity which you are going to have at the end of the week, which is going to literally change your life. Okay, my gorgeous Libra, now see, patience, you see. This is going to be incredible. On one hand, you had a patience with certain things, when you thought that you're going to explode, maybe within the last 12 months, you say this is going to all be worth it now. But it's also, on another hand, there is somebody who's going to be testing you nervous, test your nerves just a little bit this week. And I just want you to stay true to yourself and just like basically just remember that you will be maybe tricked in a little situation, but because the energy is going to be very tense, at certain moment in time, you're going to be talking to this person, talking to someone really important, and just remember, the energy is going to be different to what the outcome it's actually going to be. So you're going to be tricked in a situation, almost like to think like, oh God, no, I haven't got anything to do here anymore. There's nothing for me here anymore, no justice for me. And then you will know that moment in time, not long after, you will know that the energy just kind of tricked you into thinking that this is not it, but it's going to be. You will see exactly what I mean. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm so happy. This happens when you enter like a transformational time in your life, you see. And also the certain risk you will take, my gorgeous Libra. The certain risk that you will take, and you will surprise yourself. But it's going to be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Just go for it. Okay? Now, for those of you Libras who are actually wondering about health, Yes, for those of you Libras who are wondering about health, please just make sure that you're not straining your back. Your back is going to be quite sensitive. Your shoulders are going to be quite sensitive, but most certainly your neck behind, your shoulders and your lower back, you see. So it means like spiritually also that there is going to be the family problem, a family problem that you're going to need to deal with, you see. It's up to you. It's going to be very important from you to put a certain input, because spiritually, you see, if you have a lower back so highlighted like I see here, it just means that the family is going to kind of having a certain problem that was going on for a while, but it's just going to be so important from you to pay attention this week and to see how you can put a certain input into it. On another hand, it is just make sure that you're sitting in the correct way, make sure that you're not straining your back this week, make sure that you're not, if you're obviously picking things up for living, like carrying things, you know, and things like that, then just make sure that you are as gentle as possible, make sure that you take it easy as possible, and when you're sleeping, try to sleep on your side with a good pillow, good quality pillow, and a good pillow, and the pillow in between your legs, you know, and that, but while having when you have a pillow in between your legs, it helps you to relax the lower part of your body in the way it wouldn't normally relax if you didn't have a pillow in between your legs. So this is why this is so important. On another hand, you're also going to be very sensitive when it comes to aluminium. So make sure that you're using natural deodorant, which is aluminium free, and your skin is going to be dry and sensitive. So just make sure that you're using natural creams, make sure that you're using natural lotions, make sure that you're using natural shower gels, because this is going to be quite beneficial for you as well. And also vitamin D. Vitamin D, if you can get from the sun, would be fantastic, but if you can't, then take a supplement, natural supplement with vitamin D, and that is going to help you with your bones. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor, you just need to check with your GP, because only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. This is brilliant for those of you in relationship, you know, because it's just all about the all about a little test, you know, a little taste that you are going to have this week when it comes to you and when it comes to your partner. And it's all about kind of like also making sure that any problem that arises, you need to deal with this problem then and there. Don't let any problem to hang above you both, because it's important to karmically just sort it out. The energy is just going to be absolutely perfect. The energy is going to be absolutely significant and very strong when it comes to karma, when it comes to manifestation. So if you kind of have a problem and you leave it there, it's going to be kind of enormous later on. So any issue that comes up, it's important for you to deal with it then and there. Okay? Libra, for those of you that are single and ready to mingy, do you know what? You will realize you need to make a certain change. You will be on a certain crossroads, my gorgeous Libras. You're going to be in a certain crossroads, and it's important from you to make a necessary change. When you make a necessary change, I mean that you will change something that you do like on daily basis or on weekly basis. This is going to come from the certain change. That is going to be a sacred moment, because it's going to be directly responsible for the new person who is going to enter your life and who is going to make such an amazing impact. Okay? Watch this space, my gorgeous Libras. Watch this space. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Scorpione. My gorgeous Scorpios, do you know what? It's all about your own justice to start with. It's like justice, justice, and justice. And at the same time, that is also going to mark the end of an absolutely annoying problem in your life. your justice, it's gonna be more like something very personal to you, something what you become very emotional about, and you will prove maybe something to yourself. This is more important about than anything else, you proving certain point to yourself, certain recognition, certain realization, which is at the same time going to boost your confidence, and it's going to bring you a vision, because it's going to make you realize, and it's going to make you aware of the fact that you wouldn't be normally aware of. This is so good, so good, so good, because it's all leading down to you having your Vavumish energy back from you. It's going to be very good for you when it comes to the energy, when it comes to rejuvenation, when it comes to this optimism, when it comes to the power that you will feel, which is going to reflect on you in so many different ways. And it's at the same time going to bring you focus. It's about that focus that was missing. It's about that focus that is going to make a difference. It's about that focus that is going to make change, that is at the same time going to bring you an absolute realization to keep going, and you are going to have an absolutely remarkable moment when it comes to the bright prospect, when it comes to the new direction, when it comes to the new dimension, and it's some kind of learning process that is going to become an integral part of your spiritual journey, because you will be that much closer, that much higher to a very, very important and vibrant stage in your life, because things are going to start moving and changing, and it's going to surprise you in a certain way, but this is going to be the very, very good surprise indeed. At the same time, you're going to have a very important conversation with someone this week. Through this conversation, you're going to have a mind-blowing advice. That advice is really going to help you out with a certain balance, because you will know at the same time, there is the confirmation that you're going to have through this, and you will make an important decision, and that decision is going to be directly connected to you kind of throwing yourself out in the situation and having so much Vavumish energy when it comes to your confidence. You will surprise yourself, because you will be part of the challenging situation, my gorgeous Scorpionis, and that challenging situation is at the same time going to make you feel very competitive, and there is some kind of beautiful little spiritual baby that is going to awake within you at the same time. The beautiful starting point that is coming through, the actual moment in time that you will want to celebrate. That celebration is also going to be a direct result of like a conclusion of in your life that is slowly coming to an end. The conclusion is going to be absolutely brilliant, because it's on one hand going to help you realize that you escaped the negative and quite not dangerous, but negative and annoying situation that could have kind of slowed you down even more. But on another hand, this is going to create an absolutely mind-blowing starting point. It's to do with the challenging situation that is going to make you part of the competition, and you're going to do so great, you're going to do so brilliant, and you're going to start something new, start something different. This is going to be starting point that is going to become a mind-blowing stage in your life. But it's also very important for you to understand that if you want to start something new, look for the new job, look for the new beginning, for the new starts. Maybe if you want like a promotion, this is all going to be absolutely perfect time of spiritual growth. Not only spiritual growth, but the personal growth. So that's why you just, even if like you go and talk about the promotion and they say to you, oh, no, sorry, no baby, no, you just needed that just needed to happen in order for you to get the right sense of energy. And once you get that brings you the whole new balance, and that in itself provides you with a vision, what you need to do, what the next step is going to be, what the next stage is going to be, what next point you should be focusing on. It's very deep and it's very complex, and it's an important moment in time when it comes to your own rebirth and invocation at the same time as well. Okay, it is just very, very powerful news that you are going to have, and that news is also going to kind of like make you realize that there is a very, very big and important change going to come through, and that change that is going to come through is just going to be very, very much so a big change, but it's just basically also going to kind of like make you think for a second, oh God, it's a loss of stability. stability. No, now you're just going to be able to feel this energy and situation from a completely different angle. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, because that in itself, instead of bringing yourself down and thinking, oh my God, loss of stability, when you come to the like a waters of like a uncertain areas, like where you don't have maybe certain experience, where you don't feel like you're at home, you know what I mean? This is all going to be the beginning of an important unfoldment and change, which is going to lead towards this absolutely fantastic, mind-blowing opportunity that you're actually going to have towards the end of this week. This opportunity is going to be so good, but it's going to help you to live your life again. It's going to help you to rediscover the beauty again. It's going to help you with your own spirituality, but it's also going to help you to realize that the return of the very important thinking way, very important thoughts, that what you wanted to do, what you wanted to make, what you wanted to create, the changes that you were like kind of holding down, the changes that you didn't think that maybe it's going to be the best way for you to go towards, most certainly is the actual confirmation. This confirmation is going to be absolutely everything, and most certainly you're going to make a very, very wise decision, because you are going through a very wise stage, very wise period. So this is a wise decision that you are going to make, and it's so good because it's going to be the return of the time where you are just going to start feeling your energy again in a slightly different way, which is going to rejuvenate you and make you feel more optimistic, because you are going to have a control over a situation from a slightly different angle. And that in itself, it's also going to bring you a turning point where you're gonna surprise yourself, like without even thinking. You're going to make a certain decision, and that decision is just going to surprise you, but most certainly it's going to be brilliant. It's going to help you to discover pleasure. You see, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's all about your pleasure that you're going to discover, all about and the certain action, you see. It's so beautiful. I really like this, because it means that there is going to be the situation that you're going to have that was very, very slow. Nothing was happening. Nothing was offered. So there is going to be some kind of promotion or some kind of offer that is going to come through. And at the same time, this is going to create an amazing starting point, because when it comes to your own security and power, you're going to reach a very important stage. The greatest honor, from the right people in your life. You're going to start feeling very, very proud of yourself, my gorgeous Scorpiones, indeed. And you will see exactly what I mean here. Okay? For those of you that are actually wondering about health, look, it's just so important to actually try to ground yourself. More important than anything, to spend the time by the water, whether it's the lake. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds bizarre, but the water is very spiritual. You're going to have a very powerful week when it comes to your own spirituality. You will reach very, very high levels of your subconscious mind, which is going to make you feel really wise. And it's also going to help you to pinpoint the situations in your life that are bringing you down and that are making you feel restrained. And this is where sacred power is. This is where sacred energy is. This is a very sacred moment in time, which is going to drain your energy a little bit. And that's why I'm saying that it's important to actually go by the water and try to ground yourself with the hands on the ground like this. Just close your eyes, while you're by the water, by the lake, by the river, by the sea, it's so important. Or if you can't find the water, then maybe just at least in the forest somewhere, surrounded by the trees, where the energy is so important and rejuvenating, and you're just working with this particular balance. Just hold your hands on the ground and just rejuvenate yourself by imagining beautiful white light going through you, going through your hands into the ground, and going back into your body, then going back into the ground, and going back into the body. And you just imagine this 3 times, and it's wonderful, because you're exchanging this energy with nature, with a powerful nature which is rejuvenating you at the same time, but it's also making you aware of things you wouldn't be aware normally. On another hand, just make sure that you are basically drinking something like a dandelion tea, organic dandelion tea, or maybe organic chamomile tea. It's going to be very good for your stomach, very good for your tummy, and it's also going to help you to flush out the toxins, unnecessary toxins, and also it's going to be good for your kidneys and liver. On another hand, what else I was going to say, the boost, you need like a little bit of like a raspberries, blueberries, goji berries. If you can make your own organic smoothies in the morning, at least 2 different types of blackberries, like blueberries, like for example. And then this is also going to work like a wonderful filter when it comes to your liver and kidneys, very important. And the vitamin D, lots of signs are going to need the vitamin D as well. Natural vitamin D, if you can get it from the sun, that's fantastic. But if you can't, then just make sure that you are taking like a natural supplements with vitamin D, and also like eggs, for example, like a food, you know, certain food have a nice vitamin D levels in as well. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor or GP whether this can interact with your existing medications or not, that if you go for the actual vitamin D. Okay, now my gorgeous Scorpionis, basically for those of you in relationship, you see, it's just so good because it's like your partner is going to really like surprise you. There is the certain, see, I've got my cat's hair everywhere. Your partner is going to surprise you because what is actually going to happen, it's like some kind of success that it's going to make you feel so good about your partner, and you're going to think like, oh, they're so clever, they're so intelligent, ooh la la. And this is going to be so good because it's going to at the same time going to bring something up within you, and it's also at the same time going to bring you closer. Something is going to happen that is actually going to bring you closer, but it's to do with the cleverness. Your partner was like really clever when they made a certain decision when you were like kind of uncertain. So now this is going to have a really nice outcome, but it's also going to bring this rather nice Vauvumish energy, which is just going to reflect on both of you in such a beautiful way, and it's going to rejuvenate you, and it's going to be a very, very good week for both of you, you know, very good week indeed. For those of you that are single and ready to mingy, you see, it is just not going to be this week when you're going to meet the love of your life, but it is going to be the group of people that you're going to be surrounded by that is eventually going to be responsible for you meeting this person. So whoever you are around this week that you haven't been around, whoever you talk to this week that you didn't talk to them normally, you will enjoy the conversation. It's something to do with a team, something to do with a group of people, one person in particular who you haven't been talking to before, or maybe they will talk to you in a slightly different way, or maybe they will surprise you with something. The new energy is going to be very evident around that person. That person is going to be directly responsible for this other person coming through, because that person is going to be connected to that person who is going to make a really beautiful change into your life. And it's not even going to be that long until this person comes through. It's not going to be that long until this person comes forward. Very, very good indeed, my gorgeous Scorpionis. Very good indeed. Now, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about pam pam para pam 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 para pam 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 para pam 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 para pam pam. Okay, it's Sagittarini. My gorgeous Sagittarinis, you know what I mean? You're gonna feel very big this week, you know, very, very big. The beginning, I say very big because it's so much to do. Oh my god, it's brilliant. Okay, it's brilliant. It's just you wanted to make a certain change, okay, but you were uncertain. You weren't really certain when it comes to your new direction. So, and then that kind of created like a different point in your mind, because it made you wonder, it made you question yourself, because the balance was a little bit different. The balanced force that you normally have within the last 2 weeks, you see, it's pretty much so to do with the changes. It's pretty much so to do with the fact that you are going through your own rebirth. So therefore you were under a certain test. That particular test made you feel maybe unaware of the certain possibilities, unaware of the certain options. The bottom line is it's gonna be brilliant. It's gonna be fantastic. The beginning of this week is bringing you an absolutely mind-blowing moment in time, my gorgeous Sagittarinis. Mind-blowing moment in time. You're gonna have a very important week. You have got your own justice, okay, you have got an amazing, mind-blowing competition that you're going to have. Not a direct competition, but you're going to be part of the competition where you don't even realize. Don't worry, it's nothing to worry about, because this is going to be good, this is going to be brilliant, and it's only going to show your strength. So this week you're going to be like, watch, don't get paranoid, Sagittarini, don't get paranoid. This week you're going to be watched. Don't get paranoid. No, but this is going to be good watching. Just imagine like you're on the stage, you're in the theater, like just imagine, and you're giving your best shots, you're doing your best acting, you're just enjoying yourself, you're doing everything perfect, everything brilliant. So this is how you have to think about it. You just have to think about the fact like you're on the stage, but you're going to do great anyway. You will sail through. It's going to be important, and at the same time you're going to hear an absolutely mind-blowing news. It's a challenging competition, it's a challenging situation, but most certainly you're going to do so great. You will be watched, and this in itself, it's only going to do you good, because it's going to be the direct result, a direct impact and direct realization about the certain decision that you are going to make. Something that's going to become very, very powerful here when it comes to the confirmation, but it's so much so to do with like actually in particular the last 7 days that made you feel uncertain and uneasy because affected your balance. This is bringing you an absolutely mind-blowing moment in time, the whole new hope when it comes to bright prospects, when it comes to bright new direction. This week will be directly responsible for the brand new prospects and the brand new direction and the brand new dimension. So you just need to be as active as possible, as responsive as possible. Even if you're on a holidays and you're not working or whatever, just be as responsive, as open-minded, and keep your toes and, whatever they say, like everywhere, be part of everything. Be as responsive as you possibly can, because this is an important week of the realization, of transformation, of a very annoying stage of your life. It's coming to an end, but also at the same time there is a certain problem that you're going to need to work on when it comes to your own recognition, but in particular when it comes to the completion, because another opportunity is going to become evident here, and that in itself, it's going to be so good, because it's going to help you to set yourself free, and it's going to help you to see what you need to change in order to enjoy your life more, in order to like kind of go towards like a security, power and excitement. But also you need to think about work-life balance. Very important. The bottom line is, my gorgeous Sagittarians, this is going to be so good because it's about your own recognition. This is going to mean to you so much. Look, this is so simple, but it's so sharp and it's so powerful. It's about your own recognition, that it's going to mean to you so much when it comes to boost of confidence. I'm not saying that you needed a boost of confidence, but it's even more confidence because it's to do with an accomplishment, realization that is going to surprise you a little bit, but it's just going to be the greatest honor. You're going to feel so proud of yourself. And it's not only that, you're about to prove something to yourself, but you're also about to prove something to some other person in your life that maybe didn't believe that this is going to unfold in the way it's going to unfold, but it's going to be good. And also the right people in your life are going to feel the greatest honor for you as well. It's fantastic. On another hand, you are going to realize somebody who is not really good, somebody who's like a user and somebody who is bad, and some negative person is going to be here. So you need to be careful what you do, like in terms of like investments. This is not a great week for investments. When it comes to like starting some kind of investments and negotiations, this is the only thing I would need you to be careful about, okay? Because there is a little snake in the grass that is just going to show their ugly ass Ugly ass, oh my god. Okay, snake in the grass. I didn't mean to say this, but anyway, so it's going to be snake in the grass, you see, and it's just so important because you are going to protect yourself at the same time. This is such a strong moment in time, which is going to be so good because you will drift away from the toxicity, from the toxic people, from the toxic situation, from the toxic person, and most certainly you are going to protect yourself as well. So this is what I was going to say. The only thing is just don't invest and don't negotiate this week, because I'm worried about this little snake in the grass that is going to show themselves. But this is really good because it's going to happen at the right moment in time, and it's also kind of like going to kind of prevent you to be part of the certain negativity or part of the certain battle, because you will be provided with an opportunity to actually make a certain adjustment and move yourself from this situation. And this is why this is so good, because it's in itself, it's going to create an important stage when it comes to the actual swift change. It's going to become the great awakening. At the same time, this realization that the worst is over, but on another hand, it's going to bring you an inspiration potential, and that in itself, it's also going to shine the light on the part of your life that you should abandon. But it's just going to be the beginning stages of this particular realization. You will know what is going to come to an end, because a vision, a powerful vision, is going to overshine the whole this situation, and it's going to become so much more powerful because it's immediately going to boost your creativity, and that is going to be a sign, go baby, go baby, go. And it's all about the movement when it wasn't before. It's all about a highly magical moment in time where your passion is going to allow you to shine brightly and to emerge in a completely different light. And that in itself, it's going to be a moment of creativity and the beginning of a very, very meaningful experience which is about to change your life. Very important person. It's going to inspire you this week. And also at around the end of the week, you're going to be thinking about a certain problem, and at the same time, somebody who you think of very highly in a spiritual way, like a spiritual guru, is going to come to your mind. And that person is going to be directly responsible for you to realizing some kind of option that you wouldn't normally have. But this is going to be very deep, very spiritual, and very magical experience that you are going to have at the same time. Okay, do you know what, Sagittarius, as well? It's just like basically, I'm absolutely blown away here, because there seem to be like some new people that are going to be the part of the scenario, that are going to be directly responsible for you making certain changes. And I really like this because it is just basically when you're thinking about an indecisive situation, when it comes to something to do with transformation and something to do with the luxury and something to do with your immediate future, you know, at the same time, you're going to find yourself being in a completely new vibration, which means not only that new people are going to be around you, but it's going to be some kind of new situation that is going to be directly responsible for this particular dimension, which is going to make vibration and radiance in a certain way. That you're going to be asked the question, and without you even realizing, you're just going to like really subconsciously, spontaneously, you're just going to go towards the certain vibration. And this is going to be so good because it's going to create a little bit of, oh God, a fantasy attitude about a certain stage. On one hand, you're going to realize, you know, just move on, move away, time to move on. But on another hand, this is going to provide you with an absolutely mind-blowing option, because the conclusion of the problem is going to, an issue, it's going to slowly come to an end. And that is going to be so good for you, because it's going to be good. It's going to give you the reason for celebration. It's immediately going to give you a clear focus, but it's also going to be very much so connected to a very, very important stage which is going to take place, and it's to do very much so with your own wheel of fortune moment, which is just going to start changing everything after this moment in time, because the illumination is going to be completely different. This is going to be so brilliant, and most certainly it's going to bring you an important delight. Okay, an important stage and situation is going to take place, and that in itself is going to help you so much discover something very important about yourself, and it's going to lead towards this. Look, an opportunity. the end of this week is going to bring you an opportunity which is literally going to change your life, my gorgeous Sagittarini. I like it. There's a lot going to start changing, and I can see it being really active as well, which is good. Okay. Now, when it comes to your health, my gorgeous Sagittarians, you know, it's just so important. Like when it comes to your health, please, please, please. This is a very significant week for the changes, very significant week to think about your diet, very significant week to think, do you drink enough water, do you eat enough fruit and vegetables, you know, like basically, yeah, just to think about what you need to take away and what you need to bring in. It's all about a diet, it's all about the right balance, and it's all about being really healthy, in particular when it comes to diet, when it comes to working out, when it comes to exercising. If you can work out, of course, I'm not saying that you're able to work out. Some people are not able to have exercises, you know, but wherever you think it's exercise, it's going to be very good, because it's going to temper with this particular vibration and particular energy, which is just going to not only boost your energy, creativity and radiance, but it's going to bring a promise into your life, because it's the right moment and the right time. So very important to think what it's like, and also what you want to cut out. For example, maybe you drink too much coffee, maybe you have too much sugar. This is going to be the perfect time to think about this balance. And also B vitamins, a natural dose of B vitamins will be very good for a little bit of stress that you will have, and at the same time it's going to be help you out with your digestive system. This is something that you need to pay attention to. Your stomach, your tummy is going to be a little bit sensitive again, so I would highly suggest you to get like aloe vera juice and drink this every single morning, and this is just going to be really wonderful when it comes to your stomach. And also chamomile tea. Chamomile tea does wonders indeed. Chamomile tea is very important when it comes to these things, and make sure when it comes to your digestion, when it comes to your stomach, when it comes to your stomach lining, you see it's combination of chamomile tea and also to have aloe vera juice. These two things are going to sort you out, okay? Basically, and the chamomile tea, no sugar, maybe organic honey a little bit if you want sweetener, or stevia is quite safe, or and the actual organic unwaxed lemon, okay? Very important. What else I was going to say, for those of you who are actually in relationship now, I need you to be very careful. Do not let your partner to invest into anything. Do not let your partner to start any kind of negotiations as well themselves, because I don't like this. There is somebody who is not really good around your partner, who is going to be around, but it's to do with this, like, please just no negotiations, or no, don't talk about personal things or anything like that, because this person is going to give like an energy away. This is what I don't like, because this person is giving this strong balanced energy away, but behind there is something completely different, but it's to do with somebody who is kind of trying to lead them to something that they shouldn't, you know, like when it comes to investment maybe. So this is just like a little bit of warning. Any investment or anything, any new start, if your partner can step away from this week and just do the week after, it will be fine, but not this week. This is the way to protect themselves, and also to not to think to talk about personal things to other people who your partner don't know. This is another way to protect themselves as well, okay? Now, basically, for those of you that are single and ready to mingy, you know, it is like a highly important time when you're meeting people. You're not going to meet the love of your life. It is just also, I'm sorry, but there is the return of something, like someone who shouldn't be there. Whether this is going to be physically, someone is going to try to return, like, hello, or maybe this is going to be in your mind. Somebody who is not meant to return is going to provide you with this opportunity and option once again in order to let them go. Maybe you're holding on to someone, Sagittarius, my gorgeous babies, who you shouldn't hold on to. So this is important. It doesn't have to be physically them knocking on your door. Hello, sleep with me. No, you know, it's just basically, it's like, it can be in your mind, you know, somebody who used to fancy maybe for a day or two, and then you're thinking about them, and now this is your spirituality and your spiritual journey is providing with an opportunity to let them go. So first of all, you need to do this, and this is exactly what is going to happen. But most certainly, very important time for meeting people in general. This is going to be very important because there is someone very special about to enter your life. Not a lover or anything like that, but someone very special who just needs to be here right now. And you will see exactly what I mean, because there's an important realization that you're going to have through this person indeed. Okay, so now before I do Capricornius, I will just disappear like I disappear every time. I will be back in just 1 minute. Oh gosh. Okay, see my little planties. Okay. Right, I will do just 1 second. Somewhere over the rainbow, bum 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 bum, bum bum da 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 da, bum bum bum. Somewhere over the rainbow. I love that song. Oh dear, dear, dear. It's by that guy called Israel, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so now I'm going to start the next sign. I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my powerful Capricornius. Now, Capricornius, you see, you've got a quite complex week, but it's a good week, because it's all about digging that little bit deeper, digging that little bit further, digging that little bit more, because the beginning of this week, it's going to kind of start with you thinking about a certain opportunity. But that certain opportunity, it's going to be like absolute no. It's going to be like the sign for you not to do it, like the sign for you basically move away from it. But this is just going to be a very sacred gift from above, literally, because it's going to help you to realize that there is an important unfoldment, an important stage about to start happening to you. But it wouldn't kind of like become evident part of your spiritual journey this week if you don't kind of deal with this particular illusion, is to do with an opportunity that is just so important for you to realize that it was like a little bit of illusion. It's just something that came across your mind, something that you were thinking about, but at the same time it threw you out of balance because it affected you in a way where it kind of didn't boost your radiance as much, which on another hand it kind of affected your balance. And that in itself already like kind of, it was a subconscious part of your mind, like you already knew, you were already familiar with this. This is not out of the blue. This is something that your subconscious mind was telling you, hello, kind of don't do me, you know. Your subconscious mind was kind of warning you about. So it is kind of like a really good moment actually, because you're going to be warned about a certain situation that you don't go towards, but you will know exactly, because it's going to come in a form of you feeling quite an illusional about a certain stage, and this is just going to take place at the beginning of this week. So it's quite good actually. It's just a redirection of this very important karmic situation that is just so important when it comes to your own spirituality and when your own spiritual journey. And this is why immediately it's going to affect this spiritual door are going to be closed. Brilliant Capricornius. I will tell you why, because at the same time, by the end of this week, you're going to have a completely different opportunity that is going to knock on your doors, literally, which is going to come in a form of like a news, in a form of realization. And that news is going to be directly connected to your own accomplishment, which is at the same time going to become a highly vibrant moment in time when it comes to the certain opportunity that is going to be different to this one. So it doesn't matter. You see what I say, my gorgeous Capricornians? One door closes, another open. In your case, one door closes, about 7 are going to be open. This is the little trick here. This opportunity that you are going to have, these are only going to be the beginning of stages, my gorgeous Capricornians. So this is new, this is brilliant at the end of the week. And number 7, I said to you, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So September 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So September 2020, it's going to be absolutely huge, and it's going to be massive, because it's going to mark the ending of something, but the beginning of like an absolutely new, the whole new perspective that you are going to have. And this is all going to come through this week. This is all going to come through this dimension. This is all going to come through this direction that is just happening right now, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get hold of this vision. So this is a karmically important stage, important part of your life, which is at the same time you're going to plant the seed. So it's absolutely remarkable, and it's just going to make you feel very delightful at the same time, because it's all about your own security and power, the new direction, the new dimension. And most certainly it's going to boost your energy, boost your creativity, because it's going to be a wonderful moment in time when it comes to your own optimism. And this is how you will know. This is when you're going to start feeling yourself. This is going to be the return of energy, which is about to come through this week, my gorgeous Capricornians. And it's a lot to do with the rather devilish time that was slowing you down, that was preventing you to move on. And on another hand, it is just all about the actual decision that you are going to make, and you are going to reach an important stage when it comes to your own security and power. I didn't tell you that financially you are going to have a very beautiful promise here. That in itself is going to create a movement in itself, but it's all about the actual luxury combination, the certain sacrifice that is going to need to take place. But that is all about the opportunity that you're actually going to have, the reason for celebration, because you're going to make an important decision here. But this is all about your own inspiration and potential. Someone is going to get in touch with you this week, and somebody's going to play an important role in all this, because it's going to be directly responsible for the boost of confidence that you are going to have. And this is so good, because it's going to help you to reach very high levels of your own confidence, and this is going to boost your spirituality It's going to boost you in so many different levels. You know, when I say boost your spirituality, I am talking about something very important. I am talking about your energy, and I'm talking about your own essence. I'm talking about what you are here meant to do, what you are here meant for. And there is very strong connection with the past that you are going to have. This is going to surprise you in a way, because the dreams are going to be very important. The dreams are going to be very colorful, and even when you're meditating throughout this week, you're going to find yourself drifting in all sorts of dimensions. So it's very important, once you reach this very high levels of subconsciousness and meditation, just to remember that you also need to pay attention to what is on your mind. You know, what are your dreams trying to tell you? There is an important confirmation for one going to happen. For second, you will be pinpointing towards the certain direction, and you will know. And the third thing that is going to come to you, it's also going to be you're doing something, you're living your life, but you forgot part of yourself back there. You need to go back in the past and see which part is missing, my gorgeous Capricornians. This is going to be an important moment in time, because for once it's going to help you to discover yourself, to rediscover yourself, to kind of bring the piece into your life that's missing. Karmically, this is important, and it's also going to bring you a missing puzzle in your life, which is just going to affect all your balance in such a wonderful way, and it's going to boost your confidence in such a sense where you are it's difficult to explain how you're going to have control over a situation in a slightly different way, and immediately it's the courage that you will have that is going to affect your self-esteem, and most certainly it's going to be directly responsible for the actual rather daring situation that you're going to be part of. You're going to be testing the waters a little bit, trying to discover something about yourself, and most certainly you are just going to kind of like really like it, because you're going to love it in a few different ways, because you know, when it comes to courage and confidence and self-esteem, this is going to be brilliant, but also at the same time it's going to help you to deal with a certain burden, something that came to an end in your life, something that's dragging, and most certainly it's maybe part of a certain competition, and it's maybe part of the fact that you just started drifting away from the certain situation. So you just need to kind of like penetrate this a little bit more and release yourself. You will make a wise decision, but also most certainly you're going to help yourself, you know, in so many different ways. On one hand, like security and power, but on another hand, it's all about restraining yourself, like releasing yourself from this energy, heavy energy chains that were holding you down and preventing you to have your butterfly moment. You will have a butterfly moment, most certainly. The time of transformation, when you're gonna feel very vibrant and very colorful indeed, you know, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful return of this wonderful energy that you are going to have. It's about a swift change, and also you are going to hear a good news, very, very good news about somebody very important in your life, like a family member, or like somebody who means to you so much, somebody who's really important to you, somebody who's significant to you in your life that you were worrying about. You're going to hear a very good news about them, and I'm so happy because you were worrying, I think, quite a lot. You were worrying more than you thought, and that actually, bless your heart, did affect you without you realizing. Sometimes we love people in our lives and we worry, and it affects us, and without us realizing, it just shows how beautiful people you are. It just basically affects you in a certain way without you even realizing. These worries, you know, is the energy that kind of prevents you, like kind of look forward to things in a slightly different way, because subconsciously you are worrying, but you are not realizing how far these worrying stages have gone. As more as you were worrying, the more reward you are going to have. As more as you were worrying, the more powerful you're going to feel. As more as you're worrying, the more advanced level your spirit is actually going to reach. I'm talking about the spirit and the spiritual journey, because this is important, as I said. It's to do with us, it's to do with our essence, it's to do with what we are here for on this earth and what our mission is. It's just so good, because by the end of this week, you're really going to feel very strongly what your mission is, what your power is, what your passion is, and the whole new passion passion is also going to be discovered here. Just remember that also there is going to be an apprenticeship moment, very important apprenticeship moment that you are going to have. Promotion, new direction, new opportunity, new realization. But just remember to stay committed to the task at hand. Stay committed to the task at hand. It's so important to do it this week. That in itself is just going to bring you a completely different perspective, and you will see exactly what I mean. On another hand, you know, there is going to be like kind of like a little bit of like an interruption that you are going to have this week, but it's going to be good. It's all meant to happen how it's meant to happen, my gorgeous Capricornians. This is important. I said to you, this is a complex week you're going to have. It's a little bit of interruption that you are going to have, which is going to lead towards an unexpected change indeed. But then again, it's just meant to happen because it's all about this continuance of an effort that you shouldn't actually be doing anymore, and it's bringing you down. And most certainly it's a highly transformative time when it comes to your own personal transformation, and every single problem, again, difficulties and change that you are going through is just meant to happen. It's meant to be this way, and it's all going to be kind of very beneficial and relevant when it comes to your own spiritual journey. Okay, Capricornians, this is an important moment in time. You will see exactly what I mean. You see, you are about to get a very beautiful sign this week as well. And you know, this week you're gonna have a moment when you're gonna feel like, oh my God, like you're going to feel very like a wondering about something. You're going to find yourself in an interesting way, in an interesting place, with an interesting ideas, you know. And also immediately you're going to bring yourself down. No, I can't do this. No, baby, no. At the same time, something very sacred is going to happen, like a spirit is going to come through and let you know that you're protected, and you will know. Capricornians, this is going to be brilliant. You will love it. You will know you're protected this week. You will feel it more than ever. At the right moment in time, my gorgeous Capricornians, indeed. You see, and it's all about the security. Look at this. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, important. The decision that you're going to make by the end of this week, based on the opportunity, is just actually going to bring you protection and security that you wouldn't normally have. I mean, how powerful this is actually going to be. You're reaching an important stage of your own enlightenment, an important stage. Some very important people are going to walk into your life as well, okay? Very, very important people. For those of you who are actually wondering about health, oh my Lord, you see, for those of you that are wondering about health, vitamins A, C, and E, or antioxidants are going to be very important for you to take. So it's vitamins A, C, and E if you can take, okay? So natural supplements, or if you can like eat food which is going to be really rich in vitamins A, C, and E. It's natural antioxidants that are going to be very important to help you to fight free radicals in the body. Very, very important for you, for your rejuvenation. And at the same time, an organic acerola cherry powder, which is also going to provide you with like a very large and beautiful amounts of vitamin C. At the same time, it's something that you're gonna need, because it's gonna protect you from cold and flu symptoms, and also organic acerola cherry powder. You know, I spoke about it millions of times. It's important. It's a natural form of vitamin C. If you can take 1 glass of water, 1 teaspoon drinking in the morning, and then you do the same thing at around the lunchtime. Very important, because it's going to rejuvenate your vitamin C levels, and it's going to help you to fight cold and flu. And if you get it, it's not going to last as long. Your body will be able to fight it much quicker, much sooner. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, just check with your doctor, check with your GP, because only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. Okay, for those of you that are actually in a relationship, you know, your partner is going to be going through quite a low stage, you know, something, they will be affected with something, but it's nothing to do with you, some kind of like emotional issue they will be dealing with, something on their side is going to be bothering them, something on their side is going to bring them down, and it's going to affect them a little bit. Just to let you know, it would be great to actually try to buy them something, surprise them, take them somewhere. I said this before, the energy of surprising someone, it's really powerful because it's highly vibrational energy, and then it helps people in this particular situation. Surprise them, take them somewhere, or buy them something. At least if you can actually kind of be aware of this, so you know where you're going to be standing. Okay, for those of you that are actually single and ready to mingy, this is brilliant. You know, I really like this because you're also about to have a special friend coming through. I'm talking about a special friendship, somebody it's going to become the part of the scenario, and I like it so much because this person is going to be different to who you would normally fancy, different who you would normally like, different who you would normally find vervumish, or different who you would normally like to do vervumish things with. You know, it's like it's just like a very important friendship you will actually have this week, and that friendship is just gonna have a lots of different terms, and you just need to remember one step at a time. But most certainly someone very special is going to start coming into your life. It's going to affect your balance in a good way, but most certainly it is going to grow into something much bigger than just a friendship. Watch this way, watch this way, watch this space, watch this space, watch this space, Capricornius. Okay, now, okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, before I do this, I will be back in 1 second. You see how many times I'm going to be gone. Okay, I'm going to be back in 1 second. I've got Aquamarinis. Aquarius. Aquarius. Oh, Lord. When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, Aquamarine. Okay, just a second. Aquarius, Aquarius, when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars. Do you know what Aquamarinis? Raise your vibrations, my baby. Raise your vibration. Raise your power, because of course that you are going to have a rather bizarre moment at the beginning of the week. Thank you, Jesus. It's just the beginning of the week, and there is going to be like a rather difficult moment that you are going to have. And this is going to surprise you. Please don't be pissed off with me. Like this is a difficult moment you will have, but it's actually going to surprise you because it's going to bring you a bit of a shaky where you needed a shaky. It's going to shake you up where you needed to be shaked, because it looks like it is just going to open your eyes where they need to be open, and that in itself, it's going to provide you with a vision that you wouldn't normally have. That vision, it's going to be very penetrating when it comes to you, when it comes to your energy, when it comes to your situation, when it comes to your future planning, and most certainly it's going to be directly connected to the vision that you will have, the direction that it's going to become evident, and the decision that you're going to make, which is just going to become a mind-blowing opportunity, is most certainly going to take off in October 2020. October 2020, it's going to be the second stage of this, an absolutely remarkable situation that is going to happen. But I want to say this to you. It's going to be the gosh. What am I going to say first? Yeah, you see, because like 3,000 words are coming into my mind and I can only like do one at a time. Yeah, that's the problem. But no, basically it is just going to be the situation at the beginning of the week, which is going to surprise you a little bit, my gorgeous Aquamarinis. You know, be strong, okay? Protect yourself a little bit. This is going to be good. Look, how do I say this? You are having a yin-yang moment, but this is going to be a strong one. This is going to be a huge one, because it's going to be connected to you. It's going to be connected to your emotions. It's going to be connected to your feelings. It's going to be connected to people around you. It's going to be connected to people who mean to you the most, like immediate family members, you see, immediate people, immediate friends. Everybody's going to be connected to this because it needs to come from you. Because this is going to come from you. But it's just going to be basically connected to the situation that is highly transformative, but it didn't kind of go towards the direction that you wanted to go, and it's going to surprise you the way things are going to unfold. It's going to, of course, create a bit of a tower moment, but this tower moment is very strong and it's very powerful, and it's also going to help you to speed up the certain process, to speed up the certain things. You know what I mean? A little enemies and a couple of people that are not meant to be there, a couple of people that are affecting you, a couple of people that have been affecting you are just going to become even more known. Nothing that you are going to be surprised about, but most certainly the tower situation is also going to be an important yin-yang situation, because it's at the same time going to speed up the process for you. And as worst as it is, as negative as it is, the better it's out, the better the actual outcome by the end of the week it's actually going to be, and it's going to have, because at the same time it's going to speed up the process for you. And almost this yin-yang moment is going to be so sacred, it's going to be guided by the spirit and angel, and it's also going to make sure that it's okay, and it's going to speed up the situation for you, and it's going to provide you with a spiritual key that you wouldn't normally have. And most certainly you will go over the very, very important spiritual bridge, and once you go to the other side, nothing is going to be the same, because it's just about the passion that is going to be born at the same time, rejuvenation, the return of energy, and that energy is at the same time going to make you realize that emotionally you will have to make a very significant decision. It's to do with relationship, and it's to do with the person around you. There is something that you're not kind of too entirely happy with. There is something that you're not kind of entirely too excited with, and there is something is sticking out like a little thorn, some kind of thought and some kind of negativity. You know, it's in particular for those of you maybe in relationship, you know, for those of you who are in relationship, this is significant because it is also going to bring the balance back, and that balance is going to help you to kind of like be strong and realize and see things for what they are. See what is bothering you, what is preventing you to be happy, and what is kind of confusing you at the same time. An important little rabbit moment that you are going to have. A rabbit moment is a very important when it comes to spirituality and the speed of the event, that it's going to happen really quickly and really nicely and really beautifully, and it's going to happen at the right moment in time when you least expect it. It's a sacred moment because it's to do with the stage that was bringing you down, that was slowing you down, that was preventing you to move on, and it's to do with the decision that you made over the last 13 months that was maybe not the right decision, and you knew that then and there because there were lots of uncertainty around. So now this is going to bounce back once again, and it's going to require from you to pay attention and to make necessary changes and to see what is bothering you and what is kind of like what is require your attention. You're very psychic. I said this, Aquamarinis, many times. You're very psychic, you're very powerful, and you're born an empath. I told you this thousands of times, that if you go like, if there are 5 people and they're all different signs, then there is one Aquamarini, and then you go into the house, into the building, you will be the first one who will be so empathic. When your empathy is going to be like so vibrational, you will be able to tell, okay, this happened there, this happened there, this happened there, the energy is bad there, the energy is bad there. This is the way you are. So now you're just going to learn this. You're going to use this to the best of your abilities, and this is all coming from the perfect balance and from that yin-yang moment that you are going to have at the same Sorry, it's coffee. This is coming from the yin yang moment, that you had at the beginning of this week. It's really brilliant, but it's so important. Like, I can't explain this to you. Listen, the worse this tower moment is, the shaky situation, when you're gonna realize couple of maybe little snaky in the grasses, but most certainly it's gonna be brilliant, because it's going to help you to see the situation from a slightly different angle, to bring yourself away from that situation, and most certainly it's going to help you to make a decision quicker, sooner. And this is the bottom line. This is what's the most important here, because it's going to create an amazing lotus moment. Aquamarinis, you're going to have a lotus moment. This is a highly spiritual moment in time, and it means that karmically you have been through so much annoying and negative energy, so many problems. You had a very much so complex issue to deal with when it comes to within the families. You are an integral part of making decisions. You are an important person when it comes to making decisions, when the things come from you. So this brings an important responsibility as well at the same time, and that takes out a lot out of you at the same time. So that's why I'm saying that this is now all going to be wonderful, because it's going to speed up things for you. And most certainly it's about you basically having this little interruption as well, which is like a interruption, a little bit an unexpected change, but most certainly it's just going to also immediately lead towards the swift change when it comes to an unfoldment of the stage that was just really dragging you down, and affecting you in so many different ways. It's about you realizing, you will find your essence. It's all about your own personal essence this week as well. You need to, this week, Aquamarinis, listen to me very, very carefully. I said this last time. I know I'm going to say it again. Listen to me very carefully. You're going to come to terms with something this week, and this is very deep and it's very important, okay? And it's going to make you feel very emotional, because it's at the same time going to help you to deal with the burden, and you just didn't know what to do in such a long time. So you will know it's to do with a certain sacrifice, it's to do with a certain decision, it's to do with a certain justice and fairness. You just need to remember, you need to keep going and be assertive. You will know that at the same time this is the beginning of an important transformation, but you will feel also that it's like you will have a control over a situation in a slightly different way, because that tower situation and that negative situation that is actually going to unfold at the beginning of the week, it's also going to make you feel so powerful. Just remember that as more negative the situation is, the better it's going to be. This is what's so brilliant. This is what I was going to say. Listen to me very carefully, Aquamarinis. Enjoy this negative situation. Enjoy this negativity, because that in itself is going to bring you the peak of your own unfoldment and of your own lotus moment, lotus time, and later on this is going to be absolutely important stage that you will remember for the rest of your life, because on one hand you will discover something about yourself that is just going to start becoming like a rather bright and light moment in your life. But on another hand, it's about you being free. It's about you doing things what you want to do. It's about you enjoying yourself. It's the realization that is just as important. Listen to this, is the certain effort, that you will know. This effort is also coming through a very strange balance, which means that in the last 4 months you were uncertain, or maybe I should do this, maybe I should not do this. It's to do with a certain direction, it's to do with what you are doing, it's to do with the security, it's to do with the power, it's to do with the financial situation, but also making decision and making a necessary edit, and this is going to become the part of the picture as well, my gorgeous Aquamarinis, and you will know, you will have a powerful and very significant confirmation that effort is continued until full success is attained. very important moment in time, because it's all about your own joy. It's all about the pleasure, and certainly there's some kind of travel, some kind of journey. It's also going to become an important part of your spiritual journey. There is some kind of travel, some kind of journey, some kind of holiday that is going to be needed from you to make in order to kind of get the certain confirmation when it comes to some kind of idea. But once you go on your way there or on your way back, there is some very important spiritual experience you're going to have through your own confirmation that you wouldn't otherwise have, because this is purely coming through the peak of your subconsciousness. But also at the same time, the movement is going to start making very big changes, and it's going to provide you it's going to help you to emerge in a completely different way. And this is all about your own passion, and it's all about your own purification, and it's an ancient healing wisdom. You're also going to have a beneficial energy from an ancient healing wisdom, which is at the same time going to give you a very beautiful psychic moment. And the psychic moment that you are going to have through an ancient healing wisdom, it's also going to open your eyes. It's going to help you to ground yourself and to see the picture to see the certain parts of your life from a completely different angle. And that's going to be golden, because it's all about that particular perspective, which is on another hand going to help you to not to go towards the faulty choice, to not to go towards the bad decision, okay? It's going to be like an indecisive situation at around the end of this week, and you will know exactly which opportunity to also ignore here. And this is going to come through an ancient healing wisdom. And this is why I said this is such an important moment in time, because it's at the same time you're actually going to have number 1 as your number this week. And try to write number 1 on a little piece of paper, please, because you're going to get hold of this particular vibration and energy, and it's going to help you to reflect on everything even more. So therefore you will be able to go that much deeper, that much further, that much deeper, that much further. It's all about the penetration in all the sorts of different dimensions and different energies. And just make sure, my aquamarines, you also please I beg you, make sure do you understand what I say now throughout this week? When I say that when you wake up in the morning, you're still all part of all sorts of dimensions, because when we sleep, I told you this before, it's so important. It's like when we sleep, we like travel, we have astral projections, we do all sorts of things. That's because when we are aware of things, when we are like this, the certain part of our brain is working. When we go to sleep, then it's the whole our brain is working. The massive part of our brain is working that is not normally working, and that makes us very, very clever. It's very difficult to explain, but also we are capable and we are able to travel all sorts of dimensions and all sorts of directions indeed. So we are provided with the visions, with the wise realizations, with the perspective, with astral projections every single night. The reason I say this is because when we wake up in the morning, this first couple of minutes, we are just connected to all sorts of energies, all sorts of like dimensions. That in itself creates such a strong connection with our spirit guides, with our guardian angels, with our God, with all sorts of different dimensions, with the universe. And that's why the visions are very clear. That's why this is a highly important time when it comes to our rebirth, when it comes to our power, when it comes to our promise, when it comes to our invocation, because our focus is crystal clear, and at the same time it's directly connected to our unfoldment, the beginning of an unfoldment. So, and it's also the pay attention to, that's why, because you are part of all sorts of dimensions throughout this week. In the morning, make sure you see what's on your mind. You will be getting all sorts of crazy important directions, but the directions that you're going to be getting are going to be in form of like a one word, or a couple of words, or maybe just one little sentence, like for example, it's very deep, it's very important, and you need to use this because this is going to help you so much on your journey with your own grounding and with your own strength. So for example, you wake up in the morning throughout this week, and then you are just having like a, let's say like I don't know, go and hoover up the carpet, yeah, like go and hoover up the carpet, and this is on your mind the first thing in the morning. Go and hoover up the carpet. Please, when you wake up, have a little coffee, you know, like have a little tea or whatever you have, you know, and then just go and hoover up. It's not about like going hoover up, but it's so much about listening to this advice, listening to yourself, listening to this energy. By doing this, you're tapping into something completely different. You're tapping, I know it sounds just hoovering up, but you're tapping into something completely different, which helps you to reach the highest levels of subconsciousness, because you're creating this very strong connection with your subconscious mind, because you're following these orders, and that in itself it just creates an absolutely mind-blowing point, because something happens, something changes, something is activated at the same time, and you end up doing something without you even realizing. Subconsciously you pay attention to something, and then that kind of gets you set on the journey. There are lots of little messages that you are going to have like this, and all I say is just go and follow them, because it's all about your own passion and discovering your own color in this life, your own vibration in this life. Or maybe you can hear like the first thing on your mind, or maybe you should do this certain paperwork or something, you know, do the certain paperwork. Yeah, most definitely you need to immediately go and do that particular paperwork, because this is also going to be the hidden message, the hidden opportunity, the hidden realization every single time you do this. Never mind the fact, like if you remember the dreams, they will also be quite unusual. One particular unusual dream, it's going to give you an answer. One particular unusual dream is going to give you an answer, and it's going to keep on repeating on your mind until you make a necessary action, a necessary effort indeed. Or what else I was going to say, my gorgeous aquamarine is, you know, you will also realize that certain change is coming this week. You know, it's a very complex week, it's a very deep week, and there's a certain change that is coming this week, and it's going to surprise you, and it's to do with somebody else, it's to do with somebody in your life, it's to do, you know, it's to do with somebody in your life, and it's maybe change that is going to surprise you. It's not a lover, or it's not a boyfriend, husband, wife, you know, whatever, you know, it's maybe to do with a certain family member. You know, there's a certain change that is going to take place, and it's going to kind of require from you to kind of like make a necessary effort, you know. But also, do you know what else I was going to say? Your justice, my gorgeous aquamarines, this is another thing I was going to say to you. It's your justice that is coming. Your justice, you've been waiting for this, you know, for a while. There was a certain process that started, certain procedure that started, and now most certainly your justice is coming, and this is going to be brilliant. At the same time, this is going to bring a vibrant and beautiful and balanced energy, and that in itself, it's also going to be an important moment in time, because at around that time, you will also get an important advice. My gorgeous aquamarines, you're going to get an important advice, and that advice that you're going to get, it's also going to be an important moment in time, because you will know when it comes to your security and power, when it comes to your money, when it comes to your investment, when it comes to the direction and where you should project your energy towards. You know, this is an important moment in time, what you should pay attention to when it comes to your life, when it comes to your balance, when it comes to your direction, and where you should project your energy in order to achieve in life what you need to achieve, because this is all about getting your own balance towards this particular perspective. You know, this is going to be very important moment in time, as I said, when it comes to the certain hope, and also the beginning of a new adventure. You say it starts with like a bit of like a tower moment, but if this tower moment didn't happen, my gorgeous aquamarines, you need this. You need a bit of shaky baby. You know, if this tower moment didn't happen, then you wouldn't have a number one. I told you, number one is your number. You know, it's all about the beginning of an adventure at the end of this week. At the end of this week, you're gonna have a beginning of adventure, enthusiasm, initiative, and it's all about something new, new direction, new option, new dimension is bringing a new option with like absolutely limitless unlimited possibilities, you know. It's so beautiful because you're gonna find something very special about yourself, and it's going to be very optimistic moment in time, and as you go by, it's going to make you feel like kind of obsessed in a really good way. And you aquamarine is when you find something that you really like, you're absolutely on top of the world. I'm not saying that you're not doing anything, that you're not doing things that you like, but this is also going to be like a new direction, new dimension, but at the same time the confirmation as well. It's beautiful and very powerful moment in time, my gorgeous aquamarine is indeed. You see, let me just say this, you see. Bam ba-da-da-da-dum, bam bam ba ba-da-da-da-dum, bam 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You see, it is the flow. It is the beautiful flow, beautiful energy flow that is coming through. You will be tested, and you're going to come to terms to talk to someone very important in your life. You're going to need to sort things out. Perhaps you just maybe you're fighting with a certain family member, somebody who's important to you, somebody who's significant to you. You need to make sure to sort this out. It's very important, and you will be tested. You may be agitated a little bit, but just remember, just trust yourself, my gorgeous aquamarines, and rise above the situation. Do not go low. Do not let go, don't let yourself go low. Just make sure that you rise above the situation. Okay, because at the same time, this is going to create an important turning point as well, and it's going to be pretty much so connected to your destiny, fate, and fortune, and most certainly the big wish, which is going to help you to make a necessary change when it comes to your home, and also the confirmation of what you want to do, the confirmation about your special skill. The confirmation about your special key, which is going to be highly illuminated time if you're in your life. It's fantastic. This is important week, my gorgeous aquamarines, because it's going to awaken you in many different ways, and most certainly it's going to create a spiritual awakening, but also it's going to illuminate you like you haven't been in a really, really long time. Okay, the very annoying burden is coming to an end as well. Okay, now my gorgeous aquamarine is basically when it comes to your health, you see, my gorgeous aquamarine is when it comes to your health, please try to make sure that you're taking nice dose of natural B vitamins, because it's going to help you with your nervous system, with your stress a little bit, and at the same time at the same time, your stomach, your digestion is going to be a little bit sensitive still, sorry. So it's like B vitamins are going to help you with your stress levels a little bit, and also it's going to help you with your digestive system, and also just make sure that at the same time you are using aluminium-free deodorant. Please, you're going to be very sensitive to aluminium, super sensitive to aluminium. Also, your skin is going to be a little bit sensitive, just to make sure that you are basically using natural shower gels, that you are using natural creams, that you're using natural body lotions. It's a very important. Organic acerola cherry powder, I still highly suggest you to keep taking, because you will be prone to cold and flu. 1 teaspoon of organic cherry powder every single morning on an empty stomach, and this is going to replenish your vitamin C levels, and it's going to help you to boost your vitamin C, to boost your immune system, and it's going to be very, very good for you indeed. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor, you just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. For those of you who are actually in relationship, you see, it's basically your partner needs to be careful as well. Some little snaky snake in a grassy grass is going to be around your partner. Be very careful. Your partner needs to be very careful, because they will try to kind of trick them into something, and it's to do with the money and investment. Be very careful. For your partner, no money and no investment this week, please, because there is a little snaky snake in the grassy around them, and I don't like them. Sorry, I can be only completely honest. Okay, so now basically for those of you that are single and ready to mingy, You see, it is the realization that you are going to have. This is very important because you're going to make a necessary change. There is a change you will do this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini. For those of you that are single, there is an important change that you will take, an important change that you're going to make. And it's going to surprise you because it's also going to change things, the way you are, the way you do things, and it's going to change things that you do on a regular basis. An important stage you're going to start here, because that change is also going to be directly responsible for someone very important who is about to enter your life, but it's to do with the certain changes that you are going to make. Okay, very important. And these changes that are going to make is just going to affect your everyday things that you do on a weekly basis, where you go, what you do, and things like that. Fantastic. Okay, so now the next sign, look at Pisces, you're all the way here. The next sign that I'm going to do, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my powerful Pisces. Pisces, Pisces. Do you know what's very interesting, you know, like when it comes to your situation, Pisces, is the fact that you are missing something when it comes to your balance. You're doing great, you're brilliant, your energy is just fine, but it's just you're missing something when it comes to your balance, you know, and it's pretty much so to do with the part of yourself that you've lost behind, you left behind. Within the last 24 months, there was a karmic situation that you went through, which means that you were tested and something happened and maybe it prolonged certain journey. Okay, but before that, okay, it affected a swift change, as swift as things could have been unfolded and developed in your life, because it's pretty much so to do with your karma, spiritual journey. And if you don't get this right, then that is going to catch up with you, and it's going to affect you in that particular way, when it's going to catch up with you at some moment in time, at some point in time, and it is going to require an attention from you, and the attention from you that you can get, that you can have, can only be in a form of the clear understanding. What's wrong? What have you done? And what do you need to repeat again in order to fix this? In order to not to learn your lesson, but it's in order to like kind of to let your spirit progress. And so therefore, it's an important moment in time that you will realize that there is something in your past, very strong connection with your past, my gorgeous Pisces. Again, the certain missing puzzle from the past, it's about to return, and it's just going to fix the situation for you. This is so important. I say fix the situation for you because it's going to immediately affect your balance. It's immediately, it will it kind of like it's going to secure something for you. It's going to confirm something to you, an important change, an important decision that on one hand it created a burden, you know, it's just became really annoying, but on another hand immediately it's going to help you like to kind of have like some kind of like an insight into the situation, and also almost immediately it's going to help us and start a certain movement that you wouldn't normally have. This is what the missing puzzle is going to do, and the missing puzzle is going to return into your life, my gorgeous Pisces, at around the beginning of this week. And it's so important because it's at the same time going to make things go quicker. It's going to you know, like make your strength, you know, so much stronger, and that in itself is going to enhance your power. This is all about what you want to do, about your own passion, and about the confidence, about the self-esteem, about the new option, about the new idea, about the new dimension, about the new direction, about the new start, about the unlimited possibilities, and about your life just being like a colorful and vibrant again. You know, it's about the return of the optimism at the same time, because sometimes, you know, things can bring us down. Sometimes things can kind of stop us and prevent us from moving on until we go over and over throughout spiritual journey. and see what we need to kind of, if there is there any lesson that we needed to learn. Did we go over something and we skip something? When we skip something, we don't learn a lesson, then that is going to bounce back until we learn it. So the good thing is, my gorgeous Piscean, is that this is going to be so good, and it's a rather powerful moment in time when it comes to your own karma, and it's also going to be directly connected to the new beginning that you wouldn't normally have. This is going to be followed by the news, by an important news at the same time, which is going to confirm this for you when it comes to security, power, finances, and also an important investment is going to take place at the same time. I do see a mind-blowing negotiation. My gorgeous Piscean, is mind-blowing negotiation and a highly victorious time. Something that you waited for an absolute ages is actually going to take place. Justice, my baby, is justice. If you do want to like kind of negotiate, if you do want to kind of invest, okay, if you do want to do things for the first time, like really big important things, just go for it, please, because this week it's going to be absolutely perfect. The energy is going to be on your side, so the vibrance is going to be very important, and not only it's going to make you more assertive, not only this is the beginning of your own transformation, not only you will have a decision, in particular when it comes to the time of being very indecisive, but this is just going to lead towards an important competition which is about to change your life. Okay, challenging moment in time indeed, but most certainly it's the beginning of an adventure and enthusiasm that you will have that you wouldn't normally have. It's all about the initiative which is about to change your life. It's about to help you to recognize things about yourself, things that you don't want anymore, things that you grow out of it, things that you need to kind of move away from. You know, this is all going to become evident here like there is no tomorrow, and at the same time it's going to become a highly important time when it comes to the big change that you will be able to provide your home with. You will be very happy with yourself, but people around you who knows you are also going to have a reason to feel proud of yourself as well. And it's all stemming from the fact when it comes to making an important decision through your own security and power and accomplishment that you are going to have, because this is highly connected to your own turning point, but also it is going to be symbolical moment in time when it comes to you having a highly psychic moment, psychic vision as well, and it's going to kind of let you know to move away from the certain person, because it's not maybe who they claim that they are. You know, you're going to see the little danger before it actually happens, and it's going to come in the form of a certain person, and that in itself is also going to be an important moment in time when it comes to your own promise. You know, this is all about you, and it's all about you really kind of like feeling yourself and feeling free, reaching the highest peak of radiance. It's going to be absolutely remarkable, you know, because it's going to lead towards this turning point, and that in itself is going to be so much so to do with an improvement by the end of this week. And then you're going to have a development, you know, very important moment of promotion when it comes to your life and the outcome of past efforts. This is so good because most certainly this is going to lead towards your own personal rebirth, and that it's going to lead towards this. An opportunity which is going to change your life, an opportunity that you wouldn't normally have, an opportunity that is going to be one of the most significant parts of your life, the most significant things that happen in a long time, because it's coming through this particular perspective, and that in itself is going to be brilliant because it's it's going to help you to reach the highest moment of enlightenment, and that in itself is going to make your illumination also very strong. You will know this is the time of like ooh la la, discovery, rediscovery, you know, the worst is over, thank you God. And also on another hand, it's all about the abandonment of an annoying stage of your life, but most certainly studying, learning something, reflection, and also inspiration and potential. Absolutely fantastic. What else I was going to say, my gorgeous Piscean, is, you know, it's just about the actual perfection, recognition, honor. Do you know what? I'll tell you now, this week is going to lead you towards an ultimate change. There you go. This week will lead towards an ultimate change, and I'm so happy for you because I know how much you wanted this. I know how much you were waiting for this, and I know how important this return of the old self, it's also going to take a central stage. It's the return of your old self, but now you will feel more powerful, you will feel more significant, you will feel more strong, you will feel so much sharper, because now at this moment in time, my gorgeous Pisces, as this time around, your spiritual journey is going to be and go and reach the highest levels of its consciousness, subconsciousness, and that in itself is just going to help you to, and it's going to provide you to feel differently, and that in itself is going to help you to see completely different picture, crystal clear, crystal clear, crystal clear. And that's why I say that this is not only going to give you a reason for celebration, not only about a new beginning, but this is going to be your own wake-up call, which is at the same time going to bring you focus and promise where it wasn't before, and it's just going to lead towards the ultimate change. I really like it because it's to do with the just rewards from hard work, success, and admiration from others, which is going to mean the world to you. Very, very important indeed, you see. And also, you know, basically, you know, it's like when it comes to the actual justice, you know, you're also going to have a really important moment when it comes to your balance, you know, when it comes to your justice, you know, you'll get a certain harmony, and that is going to also create a certain reward, also create a certain option, you know, and also the certain good intentions from someone, through someone, are going to become evident. Maybe you were uncertain about a certain person. Maybe you weren't too sure, you know, about a certain person, but this kind of like uncertainty about someone and someone's intentions that you were uncertain about, that you weren't too sure. It's actually going to become evident that this person has got a really good intentions, you see. And I think that that is going to mean to you so much, and you will see exactly what I mean. This is a brilliant moment in time when it comes to your own justice, because you've been waiting for this, you know, so long. And at the same time, you know, through your own spiritual leader or somebody who's very important figure in your life when it comes to your own spirituality, it's also going to confirm something to you at the same time. Not directly, but you will be thinking about a certain cortex of energy. You will be thinking about a certain direction, certain dimension, and your spirit guide or your like spiritual leader or somebody who you look up in this way, it's just going to confirm something to you. But this is going to travel to you at the right moment, the right time, and you will see exactly what I mean, because immediately it's going to give you a sense of security, and that in itself is going to connect you to the future planning, like a very immediate future planning are going to become a moment in time which are going to become so much closer than it would normally be. Very, very important indeed. What else I was going to say, my gorgeous Pisces, it is just important. I have to say this is an important moment in time, and also a little hermit moment that you are going to have. That hermit moment that you are going to have, it's going to reveal the actual moment in time that is quite important when it comes to the certain self-denial. That self-denial will be revealed, confirmed, and most certainly an important stage when it comes to moving on as well, at the right moment, at the right time indeed. Very, very good, my gorgeous Pisces, very good. For those of you who are wondering about health, this is very important for you to make sure that you pay attention, that you sit in the correct way, because your back in general is going to be quite sensitive, and your shoulders. So when you're sleeping, try to sleep on a side, try to have a good quality pillow, have a pillow in between your legs, because that way you relax your back in a certain way, in a way you wouldn't normally relax. So that's quite important. And also, just if you are picking up heavy things for living and things like that, just try to take it easy. Try to do certain exercises when it comes to your back to relieve the tensions and things like that. On another hand, just make sure that you're drinking aloe vera juice, organic aloe vera juice, because this is going to help you with your stomach, with your digestion, and also quite important if you can actually drink organic chamomile tea as well throughout this week. This is something that is going to be quite important for your stomach as well. People don't realize how powerful chamomile tea chamomile tea actually is. If you're drinking chamomile tea, just make sure that you're drinking without sugar, maybe stevia, or maybe like organic honey, and also like unwaxed organic lemon as well is quite nice with chamomile tea as well. On another hand, what else is quite important? Vitamin vitamin D. Make sure that you're taking vitamin D. This is going to help you with your bones. And also make sure that you're taking calcium and magnesium. This is going to help you with your bones and with your skeleton in general. And I think that this is going to be quite a sensitive area when it comes to you, my gorgeous Pisces. On another hand, make sure that you're using toothpaste without fluoride and the actual mouthwash without fluoride, please, because it's poison and you're going to be sensitive to fluoride, and inside your mouth it's going to be quite sensitive, and that's why I'm saying this. Your gums are going to be sensitive, and organic acerola cherry powder I recommend every single time. You're going to need because of two things. It's going to boost your immune system, it's going to increase your vitamin C levels, and on another hand it's going to help you with your gum healing as well. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, then you just need to check with your doctor, or you just need to check with your GP, because only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. Okay, for those of you that are actually in relationship, you know, this is brilliant, because you're reaching a very important stage. Something is going to happen to your partner, and it's going to be really brilliant when it comes to their success, their opportunity, something that they have been waiting for, something they have been working on, something that have been expecting, and most certainly it is going to provide you with some kind of direction and some kind of option that you wouldn't normally have, and this is going to be good, because it's going to give you a good reason to laugh, good reason to smile, because it's something that you waited for to happen. It's going to take a central stage slightly earlier. It's going to surprise you, but most certainly it's going to give you a reason for the celebration, because here you will make an important decision as well. An important decision. Sorry, I'll drop the card here. Okay. Oh, for those of you that are single and ready to mingy, this is like, you see, you're not going to find the love of your life this week, but I just don't know how to explain this. It's more important for you to go out. This week is going to be absolutely ridiculously important when it comes to meeting new people. Meeting new people. As more people you meet, the better for you it's going to be. As more people you meet, the more creative this is going to make you feel. As more people you meet, this is going to be better for you and for your spiritual journey. I can't explain how important this time is going to be for you, just to throw yourself out of the situation, throw yourself out of like the certain cortex of doing things in the same way. You also need to make sure that you kind of like adjust things a little bit and maybe go to a different place, do something different, and that is going to create a different energy, because I can see it's going to be so much to do with you kind of enjoying yourself, you meeting people, you being in touch with people, and you flirting with people. I think you're going to get a lot out of it indeed, and it's going to be very important when it comes to your confidence, when it comes to your power, when it comes to your self-esteem, because you're going to learn quite a lot about you and about yourself, and also it's going to boost your power, boost your radiance, and it's going to be an integral part of your spiritual journey, because there is something very important that you will have: realization. It's going to be very important. That is going to help you to move on with the certain aspects of your life. This is exactly what you need before you like find the love of your life indeed. But it's very important, and it's going to be highly connected. Okay, time to go out and just have fun, my gorgeous Pisces. Please, it's going to be brilliant. Okay, my gorgeous people, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos, my gorgeous people. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, and light. Okay, my gorgeous people, sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous people. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you all. Bye.